Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on your time and your location, where you are maybe joining me right now or later watch this program this afternoon from my location. So I will say good afternoon to you all because from my location it is afternoon here. So I want to thank and greet all of you for coming. So please, as you come, endeavor to like and share the program. Anytime you watch the program, please like and share because immediately you like the program and share the program, other people may know that we are live and we are direct. So by doing so, you are inviting them and also sending the message to them direct. That is why it is important, if you may, share immediately you come in. Others who join will got the information from you because everyone has those that on his or her own contacts. So whenever you share the message, you are sending it to those that in your contacts to know that we are live today and we are direct here. That is why we ask you, please, anytime you come, like and share the program. By doing so, you are inviting more people to join us on the program also to hear the message that we are sending out to the world to know our situation. You have seen all that is happening and all that is going on, and you can see why it's happening. You may understand why what is happening in Nigeria is happening. I hope you can recall why it's happening. It is happening because of a mistake of creating a by force country. Call it country to people to come and stay together. That is why. That mistake of British that made them to stop Biafra to become a country in 1967 to 1970. If Biafra was a country, in 1967 to 1970, till this date, this genocide that has repeated again, because the genocide has happened on Biafran people. Moreover, 1967 to 1970 genocide committed by Nigeria and British in place they call Eastern region, that's made up of 40 states of United States of Biafra. Today, that Holocaust, that genocide is happening in the north today. The genocide that British lied to America, Canada, Sweden, and every other countries in the world, and some powerful organization that's supposed to fight for the genocide or carry it along, they blocked them totally. So this genocide that was happened in 1967 to 1970, the history of that genocide is what you are seeing today happening in the north today. That is why people of Benue State, people of Plateau, people of Castina, people of Jigawa, and all over Nigeria, there is a total overhaul genocide that is going on today. So, the mistake of the amalgamation of 1914 and the mistake of the creation of Biafra of Nigeria is what is causing the genocide you are seeing today. Do you know why? Because in this genocide, the people did not agree in this contraction or this one Nigeria that means death sentence to every indigenous person who lives in that contraction called one Nigeria today is because of it's not the will of the people. It is by force amalgamation. It is by force that people are going to be together. So even the name Nigeria, that's why I told that the meaning of Nigeria is a death sentence to every indigenous people who happen to be the Christians that the Fulani jihadis that British handed Nigeria over in their hand single-handedly. That is why you see the killing today. If British did not do the amalgamation, all the genocide that is happening today, they are not going to happen. All this genocide is happening because of what? The so-called amalgamation of 1914 that British by force people with gun and bullet that there must be one country. And in the midst of by forcing them, Biafran people realized in 1967 to 1970 that we did not need it here. That if we are going to be here, that means we are in the line, or we have agreed that we have been sentenced to death when we are alive. Today, all that is happening in Nigeria, look at all their look at all their medias, all their news headline. They are not talking about it because the Fulani that they handed over Nigeria in their hand are the one controlling the social media of that thing called Nigeria that means death sentence to every indigenous person that becomes Christians that are dying today in that contraction called one Nigeria. There is something that you must understand. There is one thing that is you must understand. Nobody is a Nigerian. Regardless of those who claim patriotic one Nigeria, nobody is a Nigerian. It's only when you sit down and find out why you are a Nigerian, because of economy, because of mineral resources. That was the interest of those that did the amalgamation in 1914, that denied the Biafran people their right, that denied everyone who has right to live their right to live. Please, as you come, like and share the program. If you're first time coming, you will see a 3 dots in front of your right hand on your phone. Just look on top of your phone. Do I'm pointing my hand? You will see a 3 dots. Open that, touch that 3 dot once. It will open. Then you will see like and share. I can see you easy way, my brother. Good afternoon from here. And I can see those in the comment section. Debo 1, I can see you. Thanks so much. I can see you. Madobo Nda, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I can see you, Kennedy. You're welcome. I can see you, Joseph. You're welcome. Thank you. Please, as you come, like and share. When you like, you are letting other people to know that we are live. That is why your like is very important. Endeavor to do that, to bring more people to come and listen. Why did the British block Biafra recognition, international recognition, in 1967 to 1970? Why? And also, how British handed Nigeria over to Fulani Caliphate today. Ozo, it's been very long. You're welcome. I can see you. How did Nigeria handed Fulani jihadist caliphates that are killing people today in all over southeast, southwest, north, everywhere that made up of that thing? The thought is one Nigeria. That is part of things that we are here today to let you know through all their secret documents. That is why you will see on our headline, Exposition number 3 on the secret documents, why British purposely, single-handedly, strongly block Biafra recognition in 1967 to 1970. That is how you know the kind of evil that British have, or the evil they are contributed in our life. The genocide being contributed by Nigeria is not alone. It must bring Britain in, because they are the one who sponsored this particular genocide that happened in Nigeria. This is over 111 years that Nigeria was amalgamated. 2025 make it 111 good years that British amalgamated Nigeria. From these 1100 years, people are dying less than 5% every day. Even if it's not those that died in the hands of the Fulani jihadis, those that died in the motor accident because of bad roads, those that die in the hospital because of there is no good hospital, those that die because of hunger, those that committing suicide in Nigeria, you know what is called that? 5% are dying every day. Go and verify. Because of bad creation of evil entity, death sentence called one Nigeria. So you will see the kind of evil. You will see why Nigeria is not for you. But I want you to listen to something, to this particular secret document of the amalgamation of 1914, or how British Ferdinand Lugard and his prime minister handed you over to Fulani jihadis to kill and destroy all of us. What is keeping us alive? Number one is because of God who lives in heaven. Number two, because of the movement of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu in 1906 or 1967. So, what is going on today, that Frederick Lolugard and the Fulani Jihadist Caliphate had an agreement because of what? Their selfish interests of this country called British, their greediness, their envy, their evil-minded living make them to come and carry this amalgamation out. This amalgamation is what is killing people, because before the 1914 of amalgamation, by earlier 80s, earlier 90s and 18, we have been living on our own before the second World War, we have been living a very decent life, despite sometimes having a small internal conflict around us. Even animals has internal conflict. When another animal passes his boundary to step into another animal's territory, it must be a conflict. They will fight. Sometimes the animal will lose his life because he did not walk on his own territory. He entered into another person's territory. That is why they're having conflicts. So today, the 1914 amalgamation that causes the killing that you are seeing today in the north, that are causing this genocide, is the problem. Because Nigeria was handed over single-handedly to Fulani jihadis. There is 3 agreements on their secret documents why British and the Fulani jihadis has the agreement. They do it, or what is called trade by barter. If you give me this, I will give you this in return. What and what? Number 1, because of the oil in the eastern region, British told Fulani jihadis, we know that you have in mind to Islamize these people all. We are not going to interfere in you killing them, Islamizing them. Rather, we are going to support you, even if it means giving you equipment, even if it means giving you ammunition to do that. We are going to do it with you. But you will allow us to take the oil, as let us be in charge of the oil. Let us be the one to produce the oil for you and give you and take our own. They said, okay. They sealed that document. They did what? They sealed the document in 1910. In 1910, British and Fulani jihadis sealed a document of what I am telling you right now. Now they said, we have seen this document agreement, but there is a problem. The problem is that this southeastern region, there is what they use to protect themselves, call it Arochukwu. There is warriors of Ekumeku warrior, who are those like our military, who are like those who defend the border of the southern area. And what happens? They have an agreement that they are going to wipe this Ekumeku warrior away and destroy Arochukwu. How can British destroy Arochukwu and Ekumeku warrior? Can they fly from heaven and do it? The answer is no. What happens? They use some of our own in 1910. That wasn't enough. When they fully gathered their momentum, British sent down the equipment, a very dangerous ammunitions, to start fighting the warriors of Ekumeku warrior. In 1911, in 1912, lead to 1913 December, where they was be able to destroy the warriors of Ekumeku. After destroying them in 1913 December, January 1914, the amalgamation kicked on. After destroying, because they said that these people, these Igbo people, are not bowing down to anybody at all, that they are always remain resolute. They are too strong. They are not ready to respect anybody. But you is Fulani jihadis who want to Islamize Nigeria, who want Nigeria to become Islamic country or become Islamic religion by all possible means. Allow us to take the oil. We will not touch the gold you have in the north. Do you see the trade agreement they had? Remember, there is gold in the north. The gold in the north is only for the northern people alone. The oil in the southeast is for all over the world today, that everybody is using free as they want, not being direct, not us direct, taking control or being the one to be bringing the oil out. Then they have these 3 agreements. We are only going to take this one part. We are going to leave this one part for you. We are going to support you. Now, another agreement they have is this, that you have to make it to become, do not allow those claim that they are Christians to come close to rule the country for a period of a time. But in this beginning, allow them to be come in. That is why you see Nnamdi Azikiwe coming in. That is why you see Obasanjo and some of them who are Christian. They use it to do propaganda, to claim that you are one people, that you all agree in the amalgamation. They did not consult into BC grand forefathers. They did not consult into BC grandfather before the amalgamation. Now, our holiday, as I'm going to play this document for you to see, number 1, if there is no oil in the southern east, nobody will amalgamate anybody to become a Nigeria. If there is no oil in the southern region, nobody will answer Nigeria today. You are only answering one Nigeria because of these 4 secrets that I mentioned to you. That is why, 1, they said that if allow them to be on their own, that them will not take the oil. And because of they see British, they see the Fulani jihadists as a killer squad machine that is going to even kill the Fulani, going to kill the British people. They make them friends. They use them to enter into our area. Now, when they entered, British teach them. In 1912, British was busy burning houses in southern region. British was busy fighting the warriors of Ekumeku warrior and destroying the things that we used to defend ourselves. They take many of them down to their territory in Europe today. Some of us who live in Europe watches them. Before you can be able to see those things they take from our own country, our own land, you have to pay them money to go and watch it in their zoo or any place they put it into. So, this amalgamation did not just happen. It happened by also genocide that British committed in 1910 to 1913, finally, before they can be able to capture the Ekumeku warrior and destroy them through the help of our own people and the French jihadists who has been destined to kill, and through killing they can be able to Islamize the people. What are they doing today to bring it together? You know what's happening today. When they go to northern area, they kill people, chase them away, put you in fear. So you will leave your territory, they will come to take it. Like I said, I want to play you a video, what happens, and why British, why you are answering one Nigeria, and why the amalgamation is what bring all the killings. This 2025 make it 111 years. I said what? This 2025 make it 111 years that Nigeria was amalgamated. Can you please tell me one thing that is good that has happened to you who claim that you are a Nigerian? Tell me that, please, on the comment section. Can you write one thing good about Nigeria? You see what they did to the young military man who put Yesowike where he belongs. It might be me tomorrow. It might be you tomorrow. But because of I have fully denounced Nigeria, I have fully denounced Nigeria by going back to my roots, accepted that I am a Biafran, and I also support fully and believe fully in the real declaration of new country called United States of Biafra. Freedom, the access to contribute is coming. Just hold on. I will call my, it's through my number. I will call my number. Then you can call through WhatsApp. I will do that when it is time. So just give me some time to play some secret documents how British handed Nigeria over to Fulani Caliphate Jihad, and how British blocked Biafra recognition in 1967 to 1970. So after playing this document, after you had it with me, then I can call a line for people to call. Then also, you can also record all these documents I am going to play. You can also record it on your own. Post it to many groups for them to understand what is going on and why there is second or third time genocide. Because after Biafra, there is a massacre happened to be genocide in Asaba or Nahaba. It has happened to the people of southern region 2 times, or eastern region 2 times. Now, the one that's happening in the north, it is another one today. In all these years of the 111 years of the amalgamation of Nigeria, what are you experiencing? Insecurity, killings of the indigenous people, which was one of the most important secrets that British and this jihadist Fulani Caliphate that British handed Nigeria over to has. So please, before we play the documents, I want you to like this program if you never do that. If it is your first time coming, you will see a 3 dot in front of you. A 3 dot in front of you. On that 3 dots in front of your phone, just touch it once, it will open. You will see like, you will see share. Then subscribe. This is Real Biafra TV, and keep notification on so you will know when we are live. We are only here to read all these documents and expose these secret agendas. That is what we normally do on this particular page. So when you subscribe, if you go down to our previous page, you have many things to learn, to use to educate yourself. So let us listen to this.
That's an insightful way to frame the question, as it gets to the heart of the controversial nature of British colonial policy in northern Nigeria. It's important to clarify that the British did not literally hand over Nigeria to the Fulani Jihad after 1914. Instead, they adopted a system that strategically empowered the existing Fulani-led political structure of the Sokoto Caliphate, which was the result of the Fulani Jihad in the 19th century, to govern on their behalf. The secret was the policy of indirect rule, and it was driven by 3 main factors. 1. Economic efficiency, the primary driver. The most practical reason for indirect rule was that it was cheap. The British government was unwilling to spend the vast sums required to hire, train, and deploy enough European colonial officers to manage the huge territory of northern Nigeria directly. By using the established system of the powerful Fulani emirs, traditional rulers, the British could administer the region with minimal staff and cost. The emirs collected taxes, maintained law and order, and presided over local courts, all under the remote supervision of a few British residents. 2. The existence of a centralized system. The Northern Protectorate, unlike many parts of the South, already had a highly organized and centralized political structure inherited from the Sokoto Caliphate. The emirs had well-established institutions for tax collection, justice, and administration, based on Islamic law, Sharia. Frederick Lugard, the architect of the policy, found it easier and more pragmatic to co-opt this existing structure than to dismantle it and create a new system from scratch. They simply replaced the Sultan of Sokoto as the ultimate authority with the British governor. 3. Preservation of Islamic law and culture. A strategic rationale. The British found that interfering directly with the region's dominant Islamic religion and culture led to resistance. A key part of the indirect rule agreement in the north was non-interference in religion. The British generally agreed not to allow Christian missionaries into the core emirates, except in designated non-Muslim areas. This was intended to maintain political stability and reduce the likelihood of uprisings. Empowerment of the elite. This policy effectively preserved the political and social authority of the Fulani aristocratic class, the emirs, who had led the jihad, making them British agents of control. The political consequence. The long-term impact of this secret was profound. The British greatly strengthened the authority of the emirs, giving them unprecedented power as they were now backed by the colonial military. This policy solidified the North's separate administrative development from the South, leading to vast disparities in Western education, political development, and economic systems, differences that continue to shape Nigerian politics today. Essentially, the British used the existing power of the emirs, which derived from the 19th century jihad, as the most convenient and cost-effective method to achieve their own colonial goals after the 1914 amalgamation. Would you like to know how this system of indirect rule worked differently in the southern parts of Nigeria?
I hope you are following. And I hope you are listening. How British on 1914 handed Nigeria powered Fulani jihadis to be in charge of that thing called Nigeria that means death sentence to every indigenous person. With this document, this secret document of British and the Fulani jihadis, do you now see why people are dying every day? Because of the jihad, because of the must conquer, because of they needed Nigeria to make it a safe haven from where the Fulanis, where the jihadist Fulanis that are going to settle down and be attacking every country that they are Christians. Look at those that claim that the British brought Christianity to us, was giving the Fulanis jihadists, giving them power to do what? To do not allow Christians to come close to know this secret. So why did they open their mouths to tell the jihadist Fulanese caliphate that they should not allow Christians to come close? But this is those who brought Christianity to us, who claim that they are the one that brought Christianity to us. So, remember, I don't need attack on this page, please. Because when I will attack you, you won't have a mouth to talk. Do not brought violence here. You must respect YouTube guideline. Because I am not calling you a name. I am not even insulting you. Rather, I am reading a secret document of British. How they amalgamated Nigeria. And those that they handed Nigeria over to be ruling indirect on behalf of them. That is why if anybody will be a president of Nigeria, that person must go to Chatham House in UK Parliament. They will go there, they will endorse him because they are the one who is choosing who will become a president of this Nigeria that means death sentence to every indigenous person. What I'm doing here is not a make-up story. What I'm doing here is not Biafra people that write what I'm reading. It's not Biafran people that write it. It's the document that has been down. This is all the agreements they had before 1914. Not Biafran people. Nigeria was amalgamated in 1914. In 1967 to 1970, Biafra war comes out. So, when you come here, You pay attention to know what we are doing. You pay attention to know exactly what you're supposed to know. Who you that claim that you are one Nigeria, so you to know what is happening to you. You know that British told these Fulani jihadists that they should not allow anybody that are from Christian area to rule Nigeria. But they said you have to play down after the amalgamation for you to be able to convince people's mind that one Nigeria is real. That the amalgamation is for everybody. That look like it's no longer by force amalgamation of the 1914. So, what happens here? They now said, okay, allow them. That is why they put Nnamdi Azikiwe as what? A ceremonial president. When they tried to do their shenanigans, that people want to realize earlier, they brought Obasanjo and many of them, about 4 of them, that in over these 111 years of Nigeria amalgamation, to rule, and tell them a time will come that how you will do it is that put all these French jihadists in all the important positions, all the viral important position in the government or in the country aspect. So when you capture all the big offices, then you can do what you want to do. They are the one who will put a barrister, a judge, who is going to be there as overall. They are the one who choose the president. They are the one who choose southern, eastern area, eastern region governors. This all was agreement being made before the amalgamation happens. So that the Fulani jihadists that British empowered will happily work for them. But there is one thing that I want British, London, UK, or whatever they might call themselves, and whatever that's made up of this thing called Britain, for them to know that what Afghanistan did to America is what they are going to do to Britain in a GV time, because now their eyes have been opening in this oil. When you hear that one person have over 10 oil wells in Nigeria, when you have such a thing, what does it mean? Not them alone, the British that they are representing, because the British use them as indirect people that are going to govern, so they can be able to do what they want. These oil wells also in the name of the British. So British, my brother, British never even start crying. Their crying will start in 2026 with this their new plan to checkmate or change law against migrants that are living in their territory, or trying to, because now the son and the daughters of the Britain are asking them, why did you put strangers in vital offices in our country? Their daughters and their son that has school want to take over. They have been asking questions. A lot is going on the ground in Britain right now. A lot is going on the ground in UK, in London, whatever you may call it. A lot is going on. Their children have started asking questions, and they're making a demand of to return those vital offices to them as the owner of the country. Do you follow? So, in 2026, British, my prayer to them is to witness the genocide that they caused Biafran people in 1970 this day, and also to witness this genocide they are causing in the north on those that are Christians that are in the north, for them to witness it. That is my prayer to them, because these people also in the head or in the affair of the Britain today, in their military, in everything they are there. So I want God who live in heaven to brought karma to prove to UK that karma is real. Yes, I remember what British did to India. How Mahatma fights very hard to remove India from the hands of Britain. Was it only that one? They dealt with America also. Is it not France that served America? This US people are running into today. And after France helping them in the hands of Britain, what happens? US have internal Cold War. They have what? Internal Cold Blood War. They have it. Sorry. Before US will stand today. Everyone they want to tell you we love US, America first. Then you know they understand what it means because of the level of the blood that was being wasted. That was one of the things. It is important to clarify that the British literally handed over Nigeria to Fulani jihadists after 1914 amalgamation. They adopted a system that strategically empowered the Fulani existence. They adopted and also empowered the existing Fulani led political structure of the Sokoto Caliphate. Which was the result of the Fulani jihad in the 19th centuries to govern on the behalf of the British. Govern what? On behalf of what? British. This is what we are seeing today. Coaches 042. Good morning. Thank you so much. Mazishi, good morning from here. Petono, good it's afternoon from here. I greet you all. Thank you so much. So, he had it here that they give them power to be ruling on behalf of them. Do you know that before the British start this, they have also killed many Biafrans? How? When they destroy Ekumeku warriors, when they destroyed Arochukwu, Arondizog, they did a lot of things there. That is what Mazen Kanu told that when Biafra fully regained their independence, that we are going to sanitize Arochukwu back again to have the power. What of Ibnu Adia? What of Ibnu Adia? A lot of things happen in our history. A lot of things happen in our history. Ebere, thank you so much for coming. I can see you. Thank you so much. So, listen. The secret was the policy, indirect rule. Not be Biafran people. Write them all. We are not the one that write this secret document. For you, who is attacking Biafran people. And it was divided by them, by their main factors. It was divided by three main factors. The amalgamation divided is only three things that made British amalgamated Nigeria. Number one, economy effective. The primary divide. The primary of this is what? Economy is the primary of it. The most particular reason for indirect rule was that it was cheap. Number one, the Britain government was unwilling to spend the vast sum required to hire, train, and deploy enough European colonial officers to manage a huge territory northern Nigeria direct. What happens? Britain find out that they cannot be able to manage it on their own. That they don't have the fortune, the what it takes for them to do what? For them to manage Nigeria. Talk less of the south, the northern jihadist Fulanis alone. What happened? They decided they could not be able to bring in enough. They wanted to use their own way to govern the people. But when they come, they first meet the eastern region and find out it's not going to be easy for them. What happened? They play allies with the Fulani jihadist caliphate and handed them over and told them, go on. Well, by using establishing system of the Fulani, by using the established system of Fulani, by using the established system of the powerful Fulani emirs, when they come, they did not use our own system. When I see Yoruba people claiming one Nigeria, I laugh at them so much. Britain did not use Yoruba system either. No. They use Fulani emir, traditional rulers. Then tell them to maintain their own tradition. What is their tradition? Their tradition is to Islamize everybody who happen to be Christian, who are not the same way of life with them. This is the things that we all must know. Now listen. The British could not administrate the region with mineral staff, with minor staff and cost. The emirs collected tax, maintaining laws and orders. You see, when they come, they ask the Fulani jihadist emirs. They are the one to maintain order. They are the one to collect tax. They are the one to implement rules that are going to govern everybody who believe in that amalgamation of 1914. All under the remote supervision of a few British residents. It's all these things that the Fulanis are doing. Britain was the one supervising it. When Britain was supervising the killings of the Ekumeku warriors, burning houses, it's not today that British start killing people. That's why I told that the Satan has a good mind more than British colonial masters. Satan has a soft mind. Do you know why I said so? In the Bible, they told us that God will allow Satan to touch all the things that that Job had, but he told him, do not take his life away. But in case of British, they take many lives away for them to accomplish their mission. For Satan to accomplish his mission on Job or even Jesus Christ, did he kill them? Satan did not kill them, but he tormented them. British did not only tormented us, they killed the indigenous people before the amalgamation. Let's continue, my people.
That's an insightful way to frame the question, as it gets to the heart of the controversial nature of British colonial policy in northern Nigeria. It's important to clarify that the British did not literally hand over Nigeria to the Fulani Jihad after 1914. Instead, they adopted a system that strategically empowered the existing Fulani-led political structure of the Sokoto Caliphate, which was...
If you did not hand someone over and you powered somebody, Please, on the comment section. It's not handing over, is that? If you tell us that literally did not hand them over, but you empowered them. So empower somebody. Is it different from handing over? Can someone help me in the comment section? Are they not the same? When you empowered somebody to take over something, have you never handed a person over that thing? Yes, coaches, thank you so much. They are all the same. They are all the same thing. You hear this here? That they literally powered, but literally they did not give them the authority into their hands. When you did not give me authority and you empowered me to take over, what does it mean? So, this is things that we all need to know. How British empowered Fulani jihadists to take over, to be ruling on their behalf. Let me ask this question. Last election of president between Tinubu and Peter Obi and Sowore, did you not see Peter Obi and Tinubu in Chatham House in UK? Once they went in there, what happens? They will do what? British will, UK will endorse. They already endorse Tinubu and told the stupid fool Peter Obi to go and enter Labour Party, to leave APC for those, because APC is the ruling party. You see how wicked they are, and they are telling you that so when you look at all they did, so yes, the Fulani jihadis are the caretaker, but the British are the landlord. Till today, they own Nigeria. Till today, because of those agreements they had. I have given that guy a chance to repent, and after he has listened to the video, to this document I am playing, he's still commenting nonsense. I have given him time, but I think he's dividing attention of my people. Don't let me do the needful to him. Don't worry, I will do the needful. It's okay. He cannot comment again. So, we continue.
The result of the Fulani Jihad in the 19th century, to govern on their behalf. The secret was the policy of indirect rule, and it was driven by three main factors. 1. Economic efficiency, the primary driver. The most practical reason for indirect rule was that it was cheap. The British government was unwilling to spend the vast sums required to hire, train, and deploy enough European colonial officers to manage the huge territory of northern Nigeria directly. By using the established system of the powerful Fulani emirs, traditional rulers, the British could administer the region with minimal staff and cost. The emirs collected taxes, maintained law and order, and presided over local courts, all under the remote supervision of a few British residents. 2. The existence of a centralized system. The Northern Protectorate, unlike many parts of the South, already had a highly organized and centralized political structure inherited from the Sokoto Caliphate. The emirs had well-established institutions for tax collection, justice, and administration, based on Islamic law, Sharia. Frederick Lugard, the architect of the policy, found it easier and more pragmatic to co-opt this existing structure than to dismantle it and create a new system from scratch. They simply replaced the Sultan of Sokoto as the ultimate authority with the British governor. 3. Preservation of Islamic law and culture. A strategic rationale. The British found that interfering directly with the region's dominant Islamic religion and culture led to resistance. A key part of the indirect rule agreement in the north was non-interference in religion. The British generally agreed not to allow Christian missionaries into the core emirates, except in designated non-Muslim areas. This was intended to maintain political stability and reduce the likelihood of uprisings. Empowerment of the elite. This policy effectively preserved the political and social authority of the Fulani aristocratic class, the emirs, who had led the jihad, making them British agents of control. The political consequence. The long-term impact of this secret was profound. The British greatly strengthened the authority of the emirs, giving them unprecedented power, as they were now backed by the colonial military. This policy solidified the North's separate administrative development from the South, leading to vast disparities in Western education, political development, and economic systems, differences that continue to shape Nigerian politics today. Essentially, the British used the existing power of the emirs, which derived from the 19th century jihad, as the most convenient and cost-effective method to achieve their own colonial goals after the 1914 amalgamation.
Thank you. I hope you had it clearly. So on this junction, our line is open for this, our first section. This is our first session today. Our line is open in case if anybody want to call. Remember, number two, I see you, T Nigerian Y. Good afternoon from here. Salute you. Thank you so much for coming. We're happy to see you. So the number to call is +9 7 3 60 51 3 7. Again, +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. Only on WhatsApp you can get me. If you want to call me, direct on WhatsApp, please, if you want to call. So, establishing the British using the existing power of the emir of the Fulani Caliphates in 19th centuries, jihad. This jihad, this Islamization of Nigeria did not start today, from day one. This jihad does not start today. As you can see it here. So it's not a new thing to many of them. But for me and you, who do not understand it, you will think it's just a Nigeria. It's not just Fulani killing people. No, it's not just. They cannot accomplish it without killing, because British did not accomplish the amalgamation without destroying the warriors of Ekumeku in 1913. When they finally destroyed the warriors of Ekumeku in 1913, what happened? The amalgamation happened on 1914, because those that are blocking them has been wiped away. That is why today they capitalize in killing Biafran army and Biafran youth, because they know that this Biafran army and Biafran youth is what is going to stop them. So you see the game plan. The Fulanis will be killing in the north, the indigenous people, who will stop them from Islamizing Nigeria. Then the British will sponsor the Nigerian military to militarize Biafra land, to be killing the youth, in killing everybody in our own region, to make sure that they continue making the oil. That is why today, from all the way from Imo State, British has laid pipe from here to, they have passed Morocco and they are moving. Yes, my brother, 5D, military are not supposed to be talking. And we are into peace, and we are not into armed struggle anymore. For us to achieve our recognition, if you want to achieve peaceful recognition, you must not go into armed struggle. That is international law. So the governments are very careful for us to, you know that Ojukwu went into armed struggle and he becomes a failed state with the British. So today, the same way that Biafra government refused to go into armed struggle. But when it is a time for that to happen, it will happen. We Biafra government, after the declaration, are training international military, not men on ground. We are training international military now. That's why the military of America, are you seeing them in social media broadcasting? If not this Nigeria corruption, Boko Haram military, if not for them that you see social media, tell me the people you see them on social media. So we are not going to repeat another Nigeria in Biafra. That is one of the things that you must understand. A time when reaction will come, you will see the reaction. You will see the action going on, not now. So, as we're waiting for the call to come in case if anybody want to call, I know that someone like a Freedom asked me of how he can contribute. So, that is how you can contribute on this platform. I see my senior comrade, Mas Humble Lion. Good afternoon, sir, from here. I salute you. So, the British and their strategies, when it's come to law, what happened? When the British come, number 3, preservation of Islamic law and the culture. Preservation of the Islamic law and the culture. That is why I told them, in the agreements before the amalgamation of 1914, Fulani Jihadists told all the British representatives that you will not interfere in our Islamic law and culture. And what happened? They agreed. But they come to us. They told us that our own culture and our own law is evil. That is not good. That is prohibited. That is abomination. And our people accepted it. Our people accepted that our own culture, our own law is evil. And we accepted their own. That leads to the killing that you are seeing today, leads to the injustice you are seeing today, leads to the inhuman treatment that you are seeing today, leads to abuse, leads to kidnapping, leads to all. It's not even on us again. People in the north are experiencing what we started experiencing before the amalgamation till today. When I ask this question, please, Nigeria amalgamation, this is 111 years of the amalgamation. Tell me one thing that is benefit, that is good, that you have got from Nigeria. Can you tell me in the comment section, please? When people call to this evil, this death sentence, call one Nigeria to be destroyed and be damaged, people will turn against us without knowing the secret. When British come, when Frederick Lugard came, he preservation of Islamic law and their culture. He preserved it 100% for them. For him to do what? Get oil by killing the indigenous people. That is what we are expressing today that we are into. Yes, my brother. Nothing good. Nothing. Nothing. Except killing. Burn of houses. British was the one who teach the Fulani Jihadists how to burn house in Biafra land. Because in 1911, in 1912, in 1913, they are busy burning our houses in the way they fought the Ekumeku warriors with the ammunition that they bring down to our territory. They invade also. This invade that we are seeing there, that British, that Nigerian military are invading our people. Who started it? British started it. They are the one that introduced the how to do what? To invade people's house, burn their house down, kill them inside their house. That is what British taught the Fulani Jihadists. Or the Fulani Jihadists have already into it already. And what happened? Giving them ammunition is sending them out to go and contribute and continue doing more. So, when the British decided to go, they fully handed the Fulani Jihadist Caliphate over Nigeria. There is propaganda they use What is that propaganda? They bring in Nnamdi Azikiwe, they bring some Christian put in there, and ask yourself, after Goodluck Jonathan, how many Christians have ruled Nigeria again? And today, it is about Muslim ticket to accomplish their mission on that agreement that they should not allow Christians to near the vital position in Nigeria for them to achieve their mission of the Islamization. I want to play it more once again before I go into the main business that bring me here today. The main business that bring me here today is what? How British block Biafra recognition in 1967 to 1970. How British, only British alone blocked this. So after playing it now, I will go away. We'll go into second session. Please like and share the program as you come. The like is too small. We have over 200 or 500 people watching, but only 36 like. It doesn't remove anything from you to like. It will not off your internet. It will not minus it. Please like. You will see a 3 dots in front of you if it's the first time coming. Please click on that dot. Once that dot open, you will see like and share. Because do you know why your like is important? When you like a program, you are inviting more people to come and listen from your own platform or to know that we are live. So that is why the like is important. Please, let us like the program. If you know that the program what's been like it. I want to listen to this.
Would you like to know how this system of indirect rule worked differently in the southern parts of Nigeria?
Listen fully.
That's an insightful way to frame the question, as it gets to the heart of the controversial nature of British colonial policy in northern Nigeria. It's important to clarify that the British did not literally...
Yeah, Maz Online, please greet our wife for me. I thank her so much for accolade. Thank you so much, my wife.
...hand over Nigeria to the Fulani Jihad after 1914. Instead, they adopted a system that strategically empowered the existing Fulani-led political structure of the Sokoto Caliphate, which was the result of the Fulani Jihad in the 19th century, to govern on their behalf. The secret was the policy of indirect rule, and it was driven by 3 main factors. 1. Economic efficiency, the primary driver. The most practical reason for indirect rule was that it was cheap. The British government was unwilling to spend the vast sums required to hire, train, and deploy enough European colonial officers to manage the huge territory of northern Nigeria directly. By using the established system of the powerful Fulani emirs, traditional rulers, the British could administer the region with minimal staff and cost. The emirs collected taxes, maintained law and order, and presided over local courts, all under the remote supervision of a few British residents. 2. The existence of a centralized system. The Northern Protectorate, unlike many parts of the South, already had a highly organized and centralized political structure inherited from the Sokoto Caliphate. The emirs had well-established institutions for tax collection, justice, and administration based on Islamic law, Sharia.
The justice of the jihadist caliphate, that's how we're gonna, they already have Sharia law and justice, is to kill the indigenous people. And the British adopted it. They supported it woefully. They supported it purely with all their movement, as you can see it here. Ben Chinaka, you're welcome. I can see you. I can see Collins. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Listen to this.
Lugard, the architect of the policy, found it easier and more pragmatic to co-opt this existing structure than to dismantle it and create a new system from scratch. They simply replaced the Sultan of Sokoto as the ultimate authority with the British governor. 3. Preservation of Islamic law and culture. A strategic rationale. The British found that interfering directly with the region's dominant Islamic religion and culture led to resistance. A key part of the indirect rule agreement in the north was non-interference in religion. The British generally agreed not to allow Christian missionaries into the core emirates, except in designated non-Muslim areas. This was intended to maintain political stability and reduce the likelihood of uprisings. Empowerment of the elite. This policy effectively preserved the political and social authority of the Fulani aristocratic class, the emirs, who had led the jihad, making them British agents of control. The political consequence. The long-term impact of this secret was profound. The British greatly strengthened the authority of the emirs, giving them unprecedented power as they were now backed by the colonial military. This policy
As they
solidified
were
the
now
North's
going to be
separate
backed
administrative
by
development from the
colonial
South, leading to
power.
vast disparities in Western education, political development, and economic systems, differences that continue to shape Nigerian politics today. Essentially, the British used the existing power of the emirs, which derived from the 19th century jihad, as the most convenient and cost-effective method to achieve their own colonial goals after the 1914 amalgamation. Would you like to know how this system of indirect rule worked differently in the southern parts of Nigeria?
Listen how this indirect rule works and see how everything that is happening today.
That is a great question that highlights the stark differences in British governance across the amalgamated nation. The system of
I hope we are understanding the English very well. I hope we are understanding it very well, my people. I hope it's not something hard to understand. I hope we are understanding the document that we are reading. And I hope the voice is coming out loud and clear. Please, can someone confirm? I hope that it's coming out loud and clear.
indirect rule worked significantly less effectively and often failed in southern Nigeria compared to the north, primarily because the political structures the British tried to use were far less centralized and sophisticated. Failure in the southeast and south-south.
Failure in the southeast and the south-south. Listen one, how they bring this failure and this insecurity that we are seeing today. They claim that IPOB, they use Biafran movement to use it to deceive our people. When you started, you said failure in the southeast and the south-south. How British make south-south and southeast failure? When you make something failure, it's not from there that the insecurity that we are seeing there started. We are saying, reading this document for the world to know. Canada, you know what British told you about us. Sweden, America, Russia, those that wanted to intervene on our matter in 1967 to 1970, there is a lie that propaganda that British gang up and told them they would disappear. That is why we did not get any international recognition. That is why we did not get any international recognition. They came, one, to ceasefire, because once you hear ceasefire, negotiation will go on. British singularly told America, do not intervene on this. So we are going to allow them to go into this war for 3 years so they can be able to be frustrated and accepted by force. We are going to get to that document today. Because after reading this one is very easy. So after reading this one, for you to understand how these people, British, make our area to become a failure. How they disorganize us. We are moving. Let us listen.
In the Igbo and surrounding areas, the southeast/south-south, traditional governance was often decentralized and republican. Lack of central authority. There were no widespread kings, emirs, or centralized chiefdoms with authority over large territories. Power was often distributed among elders, family heads, title societies, and village councils. Warrant chiefs, the British, desperate to find people to rule through, simply appointed people, giving them a warrant to act as chiefs. These warrant chiefs were artificial constructs who often lacked traditional legitimacy or respect from the people. Resulting conflict. Because these appointed chiefs were often corrupt, abusive, and enforced unpopular British laws, especially taxation, the system led to major social unrest, most famously the Aba Women's War of 1929, or the Women's Riots, which was a direct rejection of the warrant chief system. Limited success in the southwest. In the Yoruba areas of the southwest, the British faced a different challenge. While there were traditional kings, obas, and chiefs, their power was historically limited by powerful councils and checks and balances. Empowerment of the obas. The British mistakenly applied the northern model, treating the obas as absolute monarchs, like the emirs, and granting them far more power than they traditionally held. Loss of legitimacy. By empowering the Obas to impose colonial taxes and rules, the British alienated them from their own people, as the Obas became seen as agents of colonial oppression rather than defenders of the community. Increased bureaucracy. Unlike the north where the emirs handled administration, the Yoruba areas required more British involvement, leading to a more expensive and less indirect rule. Summary of key differences. Feature. Northern Nigeria, Emirates. Southern Nigeria, Southeast Southwest. Pre-colonial structure, highly centralized, Sokoto Caliphate. Decentralized, Igbo, or centralized but checked, Yoruba. British agent. Emirs, existing legitimate rulers. Warrant chiefs, British created, and Obas, authority inflated. Successive policy, highly successful, cheap, stable, maintained order. Largely failed, created conflict, instability, and resistance. Key outcome, preservation of traditional system and Islamic culture. Erosion of traditional system, fostered resentment and protest. The British realized their mistake over time and spent decades adjusting and modifying the system in the South, but it never achieved the stability or efficiency of the indirect rule practiced in the North.
Do you hear that? That British later realized their mistake over the time they have spent to destroy Southeast. But because of the agreement they had with French jihadists, there's nothing they can do, because you know why? If British today open their mouths and they call Nigeria terrorist country like every other country in the world, or sanction Nigeria, what Afghanistan did to America is what they are going to do to them. So they are afraid. Do you see why they continuously keeping one Nigeria? If British said what this document is lie, that this document is not true, let them tag Nigeria a country of CPC. If British try it, because they believe that the Fulanis are the one that has monopoly of violence. They believe in that. So what does that believe? If they open their mouth to call them anything or sanction them, they know that the British will. They say that this French jihadists will bust those pipes they have put on the ground from Imo State to Morocco, because of this oil. Because this oil is the number one agreement of this Fulani jihadist caliphate today. This oil is one thing that are keeping them happy. So the British are what? They believe that if there any attack on a Fulani jihadist, or if there any bad name they give to them, we bring war to Britain or British. That is why they are not condemning all this killing that is going on in Nigeria today. That is why the same rule they played in 1967 to 1970, Britain was the one controlling all the social media, paying them money. British was the one, even when Canada come with their social media to help Biafran people, British sought them out, lobbied them, and asked them to go. They go back. When Sweden come down, what happened? They use the same method. When America want to, they use the same method. When France, who openly asked for oil, come, British asked them to stay away. That they should not repeat what they did against them with America. And British and France did what? Stay away from it. That is why Biafra massacred, Biafra genocidal war has never been put to a real law today because of British. But we are here. They say that if you want to hide a truth from African people, put it in writing and hide it. Today, we are here to dig out, to bring those things. Our leader, Mazin Nandekan, has taught us. Our Prime Minister, Mas Simon, has taught us how to search and bring all this hidden agenda of Britain. All these secret documents against us. Britain hates people from southeast. The hatred is in their eternal blood. That is why they chased those that have come to save us in 1967. British was the one doing diplomatic blockade of Biafra having a free country. For us to, lack of our international recognition was held on by British. They are the one that masterminded it and they block it. Chase everybody away. Control BBC. They are the one paying. Any country who wants to interfere, British will use their hand to stop them. Imagine such a thing. Because of oil, people could not have their freedom. And you lie to those people that if you give them their country, that they are going to brought many many countries in Africa. When our population passes to your own, what do you expect? When our population of human being passes to your own, we need more countries to be controlled this human being. And what happens? You colluded, you lied, you run propaganda against the Biafran people. Decentralized. You were told that in 1914 that your decentralization of Southeast will stop us. And you find out we pick up our pieces and we move. After that, after Biafra genocidal war, they give us you told Nigeria to give Biafran people 20 pounds. And today, go back to Nigeria, that's your one Nigeria again. Every developed area was being developed by the people of the Southeast region. True or false, my people? Anywhere that developed today in the so-called South, in the so-called entire Nigeria, is being developed by who? By people of the Southeast. And that is why, and also, before British start fighting us, they study us and find out that if they leave us, you heard it from Mazen Kanu when he went to the UK Parliament to submit or talk about Biafra. They said they don't want another China, they don't want another Japan or another America. That is what British told Mazen Kanu. This is why they block us, because of who we are. Could you imagine? Somebody stop you to walk because you have a leg to walk faster more than him. Because the British know that we are going to build the most beautiful country in the world, where everybody will come to talk, and where everybody will run for to save his life. That is why British bow their head and said that it will never come to pass. But we are telling you that Biafra has come to pass. Our real declaration of Biafra on November 20, 2024 by Biafra government, led by Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, has proved otherwise. British, what's that thing that you send to us? You receive it back, because karma is real. Had I known, is what you will cry. That is why we are telling the world to know that Biafra is the solution of all that is going on in Africa. And the British knows that. That with us, they will not tamper Africa again. Only Burkina Faso is doing people shege. The rest of we. That is why we are asking for recognition from America to step in first. Because once America goes, every other country follows. We are calling on Russia to recognize the people of Biafra. We are the solution to stop the insecurity. We are the solution to stop the killings of the indigenous people who are Christians that are dying every day in the hands of one Nigeria that means a death sentence to every indigenous people. One Nigeria means what? Death sentence. That is the meaning of one Nigeria to every indigenous people who happen to be a Christian. Because before the Christianity, we are indigenous people. We are living in our countries, in our territories, in our land. The declaration of Biafra is the solution of what is going on today. So, and also, yes, Julie, they did not see the declaration coming. They thought it's a child's play. They thought that taking our prime minister away colluded. Okay, look, let me see one thing here come to my mind. Now, after reading documents, I begin to know the way they divided us. I begin to know that the British, UK, London contacted Ogenkere direct in what he's doing through Nigeria. When Nigeria grabs Ogenkere to come and destroy our declaration, British paid them woefully some amount of money. Because that is exactly what British know how to do. British only know how to destroy. Nigeria is a destroy. So Nigeria colluded with the British and grabbed Ogenkere. Number one, to stop the declaration of Biafra. That is number one. Also, to take our PM away. You say you are the financial minister, and they said there is some amount that enter into the account of Abato be used to run the movement of Biafran people. Ogenkere could not be able to give an account of how that money comes in. So, and also, by using Ogenkere, what happened? They divide. When Nigeria found out that using Ogenkere is like using IPOB, wanting to stop my Simon, but what happened? They dived to Imam Maduaba and Chiamaka Ajay them. Do you understand it? This is a divide rule of British. They continue dividing us. Before they will conquer the warriors of a Kumeku warrior, what happened? They also play divide and rule into them. They use a family of one of them to attack. Child, a lot is under the secret. A lot is being hiding. A lot of things. But I thank you that we are here today to use our hand to know what happened to us. Have you asked this question to yourself? If British did not amalgamated Nigeria in 1914, can anyone answer one Nigeria? If British did not do the amalgamation in 1914, are we not believing before the amalgamation? Is the question. That is why the Biafran people decided to go back to who we are before the amalgamation of 1914. If there is no oil, nobody will answer one Nigeria. If there is no economy coming from our eastern region, nobody will answer one Nigeria today. Nobody. Check very well. Yes, Ben Chinaka. It's been long, my brother. I hope you are good. Thanks so much for coming in. Immaculate, thank you so much for coming. I can see you. Let us read this document again to find out in their own what they see. They put all these things in writing and hide it from us. That is what British did.
That is a profound what-if question that fundamentally alters Nigerian history. If the British had not amalgamated the northern and southern protectorates in 1914, it's highly improbable that a single country named Nigeria with its current borders would have come into existence. The most likely scenario is the emergence of multiple independent states.
Do you hear that? I hope you heard it clearly. Do we understand it clearly? If the British had not amalgamated the northern and southern protectorates in 1914, it is highly impossible that a single country named Nigeria with its current borders would have come to existence. The most likely scenario is the emergence of the multiple independent states. This independent state is what could have ended this impunity that you are seeing today. There is a country in the world that's not even up to 5 million. They are a country. Go and check. Go and check today. I hope you are hearing this. If the British had not amalgamated the northern and the southern protectorates. That this is we and the Yoruba, they merged us too, you see, in the beginning. In 1914. It is highly impossible that a single country named Nigeria, with its current borders, would have come into existence. Today, go to India. We could have been living the way India it is, the way Europe shared their own territories. What could have happened? Because we could have been staying on our own. The Yoruba will be staying on their own. The Hausas on their own. The French jihadists that planning will be. But they cannot be without killing those that are very close to them. Because in the origin of the Usman Dan Fodio is to do what? To Islamize everybody. To, according to him, they said they want to put Quran into deep sea. Who cares? You see their plan. So if you see someone who is number one Nigeria today, and I want you to always remember that the meaning of one Nigeria is a death sentence to every indigenous people. Yes, my brother. We must never go up on Biafra agenda. We must also forbid selling land to Muslims in the southeast. You are right, my brother. That is it. Because giving them, selling land to them is bringing them more. Well, in my area, nobody does that. Because we are bringing what will kill you. They have tried Ruga, it did not work. They tried to buy land in all around our small waterways, but our people with their sense understand through Mas Nandekano. If you do that, you are bringing your death to you. You are signing your death warrant. That one that was signed in 1914 is very far. If you sign this one, you are doing what? Signing your death warrant. You must continue.
Pre-colonial realities. Before the British conquest, the region was not a single entity, but was composed of diverse, well-established kingdoms, empires, and communities. These separate political systems were already functioning as distinct entities, sometimes trading, sometimes in conflict.
Do you hear this? Before the British conquest, the region was not a single entity, but was well-established kingdoms, empires, and communities. The separate political system. We have a very separate political system. What works in the Oduduwa or Yoruba is not what is working for us. What works for the Hausas is not how we do our own politics. We have different politics criteria that suit on our own. North has their own. Yorubas on their own. Igbos on their own. Even Ijaw people on their own. But today what happened? By force amalgamation of one Nigeria, bring this impunity, bring inhuman treatment, bring all the genocide that are seen today. That is happening. And they come. They destroy us, who we are, and give us who they want us to be. Nigeria is evidence of how a white man wants you to be. And Nigeria has proved that a white man like British never wants you to live well. He wants you to live in abject poverty. He wants to live in intimidation. He wants to live in abuse of rights. He wants to live under autocracy, not democracy. That is what a white man brought to us.
Potential independent successor states could have been based on these powerful pre-colonial structures. Northern states, largely based on the Sokoto Caliphate, a massive 19th century Islamic empire established by the Fulani Jihad, and the surviving elements of the Kanem-Borno Empire. This area was already unified under a strong centralized Islamic administration before the British arrived. Western state. Centered on the Yoruba people, this state would have likely evolved from the remnants of the powerful Oyo Empire and the venerable Kingdom of Benin. Eastern states. This region, primarily inhabited by the Igbo and other groups, was generally characterized by decentralized self-governing communities, sometimes called segmentary societies, and city-states, like the Aro Confederacy. The political outcome here is harder to predict, but it might have led to one or more federated states, or a larger segmentary nation. Delta states. The numerous city-states in the Niger Delta, like Boni, Kalabari and Warri, were powerful trading hubs and might have formed smaller coastal states focused on commerce. The reasons for amalgamation. The amalgamation was driven by British interests, not the will of the people. The main
Was
goals of
driven by
Governor General
what?
Frederick
British
Lugard were,
interest, not by the will of the
economic
people.
convenience. Southern Nigeria had a budget surplus, largely from coastal trade and taxing goods like imported liquor. Northern Nigeria was financially insolvent and required subsidies from the British Treasury. The amalgamation was intended to make the Northern Protectorate financially self-sufficient by using the South's revenue, a key incentive for the British. 2. Administrative efficiency. It was more convenient and cost-effective to have a single administration and coordinate policies, especially concerning customs, railway development, and taxation across the entire territory. Without this colonial mandate for administrative and financial unity, the profound ethnic, religious, and political differences would have likely prevented a voluntary merger into a single Nigerian state. Conclusion. A new future. The amalgamation was the single most important factor that created the boundaries and the structure of modern Nigeria. If it hadn't happened, the region would likely have followed a path similar to parts of Southeast Asia or the Indian subcontinent, where various pre-colonial regions emerged as their own independent countries, e.g., Ghana/Gold Coast, which was also a British colony but was a more geographically and politically unified area before independence. The modern single country of Nigeria is truly a creation of that 1914 decision. Would you be interested in learning about the different administrative systems the British set up in the North versus the South?
I hope you heard it clearly. Anything that is going wrong today was what British brought us with their evil mind of what amalgamation has cost us. So please, as you come, please like and share the program, please. If it's the first time coming, you will see a 3 dots in front of you. Hit on that dot. Once you touch that dot once, it will open. You will see like and share, please. Please like and share, because that is only how you are making people to know that we are alive and this message will be going far. Please do that. It does not remove anything from you. And if you're first time coming, subscribe. This is Real Biafra TV. Go and subscribe on this page, please. And keep your notification on so you will know whenever we are live. This is what we do here. Mars Humble Lion is dealing with other Orama and other things. Kai Report is doing his own. Ezekuna Son doing his own. Ada Simon. This is the platforms. Biafra is the DOS. This is the platform that you will go to get a real information. We have different kind of way of bringing this message. On my own, this platform, this is what we bring here. We bring these secrets that there was being keeping against us. So, my people, it is good that we know it all by ourselves. It is very important. If you look at everything that we are passing through today, you will see the reason why. I want those that do not understand why this killing in Nigeria is much. There is a killing in Nigeria because of what? The amalgamation of 1914 that was not interest of the people, rather the interest of the British. And before the British interest, there is agreement, which we have read here, the secret documents about British and Fulani jihadis. There is. That is when you will know the plan. In this document that we read today, I hope you have understand it clearly. Why British is the problem. That as you are blaming the leaders of Nigeria, we must also put the blame on the British who brought this idea of what? Of amalgamation that leads to the killing of the indigenous people today. When some countries like Canada, Sweden, come to ask Nigeria, why are you killing the people? They lobbied themselves, asked them to go away. So, like I told you, now we are going into our third session of all this. Do you know why? Now we are going to know why. You see, the same way British hated us in 1914, do the amalgamation, after they have killed our people, after they have massacred our people, the same way that British single-handedly block Biafra recognition. When you see those Okokos who talk about Biafra without knowing our history, those claim one Nigeria, I ask them, who are you before the amalgamation? We have placed documents here that who we are before the amalgamation is the best way. That we could have been living like India or other Europe countries who have multiple different countries in their areas, and there is a peace. If Bangladesh are still in India, imagine the kind of killing that is going on by now. If Pakistan is still with India, under India, you could have imagined what is going on by now. But India set Bangladesh free, set Pakistan free, after they have fought their way out from British. Before I go into why British block our recognition, let us see what is still happening in Nigeria till this date. Let us hear it. Look at them, the owner of Nigeria. This is the Fulani bandits. But you see, what are you hearing? Chasing away indigenous people, killing them. As of yesterday, every day. Do you see them? What is it war? There is a war of to Islamize you who believe in one Nigeria. Not me that believe in Biafra. Believe in the United States of Biafra declaration, not for me. If there is no amalgamation, this will not be happening. If there is no amalgamation, this will not be what happened.
Nigerians! So yesterday, in the evening, around 5:30 to 6 in the evening, yesterday's date now, the 13th of October 2025.
This one on 13th, every day.
In the evening of that 13th of October 2025, terrorists, aka bandits, they enter this village where they call Kukakwada.
Okay.
They inside Kankia local government area.
This is a Yoruba. This is what Hausa man.
See how they enter.
They call him English Alaj.
Yes, every day they get alarming. See how they enter the village. They will never tell you. Nigerians, the media will not tell you or show you these things because the media, the Nigerian media, the federal government of bandit together. They tell you what they want to tell you. They will never show you these things. I don't post fake story here. When I post something, I say, go and verify. Go and verify. I know they post fake news here. And no amount of their threats will stop me from doing this thing. No amount of their threats will stop me from exposing them. From exposing what is going on in this north. Inshallah, God is my strength. God is my strength. God is my strength. This one happened yesterday. These guys enter. They open fire. You know their normal process now. Their procedure. They open fire and the bullets hit people. Nigerians lost their life yesterday. Nigerians were injured yesterday. Nigerians were kidnapped yesterday. For Kankia local government area of Katsina State, go verify. People they die for this country. Nigerians are dying every day. Nigerians they die every day, and they wonder what is going on. What did it happen?
What is going on is amalgamation that you refuse to join us to destroy amalgamation. Because when you destroy that constitution, that secret of that history of amalgamation, you will set yourself free, so you can be able to defend yourself. Join us, no. You come against us. What is happening to you is what the Biafran people experienced in 1967 to 1970. Only the recognition of Biafra will set you free. Because we are the light of entire Africa as a whole. Keeping us down is keeping Africa down. That is why British system had to play it down for Biafra to get recognition.
My Bible tells me I should say the truth, and the truth will set me free. These are people that are enjoying to loot government money by releasing their children, the Almajiris and the rest. They went into kidnapping, robbing people on the way, sending them in all the states.
Recognize of what? United States of Biafra. We end on this cry. You see all this cry you're hearing here today. Recognize of Biafra that was re-declared as a sovereign state on November 29, 2024 is only solution. Because if you're not a country being declared, nobody gave recognition.
Why? The repentant Boko Haram have been exhausted into Nigerian army and Air Force.
This is why they kidnap Mazen and the Khan.
Also another very
Simon Eba. Hope you're hearing it. They kill it.
They destroyed over 77 farmlands. Compensation was to be paid on Wednesday. Some shift in is on Monday. So they have agreed that they will come and attack so that they will not pay those 850 bags of maize. Because once they start attacking, nobody will go and ask them for that. So we are saying it that we are standing on our position. And if security will compromise this time around, then it will not be good between us and them, because we will take it up legally.
Nice.
We will take it up legally to ensure that if they will compromise, that those grains will not be given to these affected individuals. Then we will know that the security are involved in this thing.
Look at the owners of Nigeria. The owners of Nigeria, look at them. The owners of Nigeria. You can see them here. Do you see it? These are the owners of Nigeria. Look at them. Look at them, the owners. But when they catch Biafran army, they will buy them. They know where they are. The business of the day is what you are seeing here today.
My country people, now this early fire them come.
Look at it.
Enter their village for Sokoto now.
For Sokoto?
Everybody, my country people, now this early fire them come. Now they enter their village for Sokoto now. You see as everybody they run. Everybody.
Until they accepted
What does the Bible
error
say about Nigeria? I'm about to tell you. The Bible says that Nigeria is a place that lacks brightness, that is no light. It does not reflect any light back. Which means all they do is to take in from people. They don't give a day. The same way we're consuming a toothpick, toothbrush, everything we import. That's why if you come here in Nigeria, God, Satan will punish you upon the punishment you have. Check out all of them. Thunder will fire you.
Yes, sir.
All of you refer to me as a Nigerian, and God, all in heaven will punish you and punish your family. Look at Niger, the name is Niger Republic for French, Nigeria for English. And I ask you, You that say you're from South or Niger Delta. I don't want to go there. Dear me. Are you witnessing your stupidity live and direct?
Exactly.
And you expect never to give you light. When your name is darkness, you want never to give you light. Hey, Chineke me, unbelievable. What is the origin of the word black? Who originated it? It's from Europe now. It's from Europe. And then let us look at what white means. Dear me, it means purity, clean, pure, radiant. And what does the everything is there, you can see it. Hey, Facebook has come. I told you.
Yes, Massive Freedom. I have given the number to call out. So I don't know whether you get my number. Where you can contribute.
9,000 people.
You see it?
This video you are seeing, this is a jet. This is a Nigerian jet going to supply the bandits guns, weapons to kidnap people, to take the life of Nigerians. Nigeria jets going to supply bandits, weapons to take the life of Nigerians. What have we done? Then when we speak, they say they will smart like that. What is this?
Okay, the number is plus 9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. That is the number only on WhatsApp. I repeat it again. Plus 9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. That is number to call. I hope you got it. If you did not, you let me know.
What are you saying? This is not a shame. If truly our leaders do not have a hand in what is happening in the taking of Nigerians' life, can't they stop this? Nobody has the rights. Nobody. I say it again. Nobody.
Yeah, thank you. You can only call through WhatsApp.
To fly.
And I said the line
like
is
this.
free to
People
call.
to
Even if you want to call now, you are free.
When I say Nigeria is a business place, they are using our life for business. They don't care about us. Sir, they don't care about us. Are you aware that none of the presidents, none of the governor, none of the senate goes to hospital in Nigeria? Ask yourself.
We are happy playing these videos because this is what kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS dungeon. This is why they arrested our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. But today, we are happy that all of you are witnessing what could have been prevented by now. What Mazi can stand to prevent all of you from the danger, the impending danger. What Mazi Simon Ekpa stand up for is what you are saying. And they have already told all of us this. But instead of all of you to join hand, you criticize us. You don't want Biafra. But let me tell you, people, all of you will be dying until Biafra gets his own international recognition. Once Biafra gets international recognition as a fully sovereign state, then what is going on here today will stop. Chugo Kabiama, allow all of you to taste what we have been experiencing. Before the amalgamation, there was killing. After the amalgamation, it continues. So today, you all are witnessing, are experiencing what we have experienced in the past. And it's not happy, it's not good to all of you. Until all of you realize that Biafra is only solution. That is why you must join your people who are supporting United States of Biafra that was re-declared on November 29, 2024. As we are preparing for our first independence of Biafra re-declaration, as we are preparing our fully first ever independence, and you also go and do what? Take your ID card. Go and do what? Take your ID card. It's very important. If you have to, you must do so.
The big pastors we have in Nigeria that carry great oil, all the please share this video for me.
They did not carry any great oil because all of them come from Muslim family. That is the problem. That people will be into what is killing you and be talking as if you don't know. Obonaya, you're welcome. Thanks so much for coming. It's been long. One, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Sorry, is it Mwenye? I don't know. Thanks so much for coming. What you are talking, the problem is that none of these people that claim pastors and this thing, they have no oil on their head. Go and verify all their roots. They came from Muslim family. They came to people to deceive you. All of them came to deceive you, and they continue deceiving you till today. But Biafra will bring you out from this deceit.
Beg you, share this video. Share this video. Share this video. If I'm speaking the truth, share this video. Which Daddy Gio in Nigeria have sent their son to the north? Which Daddy Gio? Which Daddy Gio don't send the pikin? Go here bound it today. Which Daddy Gio? Oh, here they pursue them. Now America. From America straight to Canaan land. Adeboye in children. Straight where the money dey. Which pastor pikin? Night don't travel. Say they post them. You know they post their children go so far. But they post people, innocent children, go and die. When you die, they say you die for the Lord. You die for the Lord. But you not, sir, I am telling you, you not die for the Lord. You die a foolish death. You die a foolish death.
Anybody who died because of name one Nigeria is also die a foolish death. Is also die a foolish death. I am bringing out this video to let the world know what we are passing through and why that the secret. All this is happening because of the secret document of the amalgamation of 1914. The secret document of the agreement being had by the so-called British and Fulani Caliphate. The Fulani jihadists. The agreement British had to them is what is it has come fully to manifest, to make sure that they conquer all of you. Because they know, as they set their eyes that Biafra has been declared, no, this time around, they must get their independence, they must get recognition on the global stage. They want to first Islamize all of you. Because they will first conquer all of you before us. But the way it is now, they can never conquer us. They will never ever conquer Biafran people. That is something that we all must have in our head. So we are having mercy on all of you. That is why we are playing what is happening. Also to prove to the world why the Biafran people says no to what? To that thing called one Nigeria. That means death sentence to every indigenous people who happen to be a Christian. These are truths. So let us go into why British block Biafra recognition in 1967 till today. How British strongly oppose block Biafra recognition on the international global stage. How British block UN to interfere in our matter. How British block AU to interfere. How British block EU to interfere. How British block America to stop, for them to not come close to recognize Biafra, and they lied to all of them. But today, India is a country with many multiple countries under them, inside India, and they're on their own doing their thing. We must continue, my people. If you have the number, in case if you want to call, you are free to call on number +9 7 3 60 51 337. That is the number to call in case if you have time to call.
Britain strongly opposed the international recognition of Biafra during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, primarily to protect its significant economic interests, chiefly oil, and to maintain the integrity of the Nigerian state which it had created as a major post-colonial power.
Make here headline into your heart. British strongly oppose the international recognition of Biafra during the genocidal civil war of Nigeria and Britain fought against Biafra in 1967 to 1970, primarily protect its significant economic interests, chiefly oil. Because of what? Oil. And to maintain the integrity of the Nigeria state, that means death sentence to every indigenous people, which it has created a major post-colonial power. What are you getting from here? That British strongly block Biafra recognition in 1967 to 1970. Because of what? Oil. Nigeria did not have any integrity with every other country, like country that made the declaration, or people that have a true document of a country. The only territorial integrity of British saying that they want to protect Nigeria territorial integrity is because of what? Oil. They only want to protect the territorial integrity of Nigeria is oil in the Biafra land. One Nigeria, people are claiming, those that even are Biafrans who claim one Nigeria, you are claiming because of the oil. The oil in Biafra land, in the southeastern region, that is the territorial integrity of Nigeria. That Obama said that they must be able to keep Nigeria one. That the unity of Nigeria is unnegotiable. The unity of Nigeria is what? To take oil. Because that is interest of British that make them to do the amalgamation. You had it here on the other document we read. They told us there that British single-handedly do what? Amalgamated Nigeria to, and also handed it, or the powered Fulanis to take over. They call it Fulani Jihadist Caliphate. British is the one that powers them to do all they do. So we are here letting the wars that when you see your flag on our YouTube page is because to bring your attention back that there is something that British hide from you. When America come to interfere, when Canada, Sweden, these are countries that come to say, no, this is a genocide that is going on, we cannot accept this. British block them and chase them, tell them to go back. British was the one controlling BBC, all the news, all the media houses, like what we are seeing today. All the killing that is going on in the north, in Biafra land, in all over that thing called Nigeria, their news agency cannot present it at all because British has taught Nigeria, the Fulani jihadists, how to handle it. They play it down. If you ever show a video of attack of Boko Haram, aka Fulani terrorists, if you show their video, they will shut down your social media platform or social media house. That is what is good. That is why they cannot be able to do that. And it does not start today. It is started with the Biafran people. Today, it is affecting people in the north. It's only Okokondem who was be able to manage his little skills of social media to propagate Biafran genocide and bringing the news out, which was not enough. British, you had it here. Britain strongly opposed. Not that the international community did not come. They come. But because of the British was the #1 world power, then what happened? Britain strongly opposed the international recognition of Biafra during the Nigeria Civil War, 1967 to 1970. Because of what? Primarily to protect its significant economic interests. Canada, this is why they chased you away. Sweden, this is why they chased you away. America, they chased you away. France come with the same idea, the same interest of what Britain have is what they have. Britain snubbed and told them, no, do not try that. You have tried it, remove America from us. Do not do it next time. After British won them, after Britain won France, France take off. And Ojukwu refused to give the oil because France contacted Ojukwu direct. And without Ojukwu knowing, without knowing that oil is not going to finish, it has been there forever and ever. Then he refused to give them. If Chukwuemeka Ojukwu give France oil, they could have done what they did to America. They could have performed the same miracle. They would have helped. They said that when France helped you, they will never go. But they wanted us to Ojukwu to have an agreement with them. Britain chased them away. Many countries that come to intervene in our matter. There is many countries that came in to intervene in our matter. British blocked all of them and chased them away. That's what Britain did. That is why Ojukwu, that is why Biafra became a failed state in 1967 to 1970 because of lack of international recognition.
Reasons for British opposition. The British government's policy of supporting the federal military government, FMG of Nigeria, and opposing Biafran secession was driven by three core interconnected interests.
Listen
1.
now.
Oil and economic interests. Protecting Shell BP. The most critical factor was the need to safeguard the vast investments of the Anglo-Dutch oil company Shell BP, now Shell, which had its most vital installations and oil reserves located in the eastern region, Biafra. Royalties. The British government preferred to deal with a single, stable federal government for oil contracts and royalties, rather than a fragmented Nigeria where oil flow could be disrupted, or contracts renegotiated by a new Biafran state. Declassified documents show that protecting this important stake was the dominant factor in policy formulation. Fuel security. The British economy was also keen to keep Nigerian oil flowing to mitigate domestic oil shortfalls caused by Middle East instability, particularly following the 1967 Six-Day War. 2. Maintaining one Nigeria. Legacy of decolonization. Britain, as the former colonial power, had created Nigeria as a unified state. They saw the country's unity as vital for its post-colonial influence and stability in the region. Precedent for secession. London feared that recognizing Biafra would set a disastrous precedent for other fragile post-colonial
London feel that to recognize Biafra will prove a disastrous, that they will not have the oil again. That is why, because of this oil, is the reason why Britain handed Nigeria over to Fulani Caliphate after the amalgamation.
African states, leading to further tribal fragmentation and instability across the continent, which was contrary to British foreign policy goals. 3. Diplomatic and political alignments. Commonwealth. Supporting the FMG was seen as maintaining a relationship with a major Commonwealth nation and avoiding a deep diplomatic crisis with Lagos.
All it here. Look at your name. Look at the fake name you use. Come here. Your AI will kill you. This document is AI. One mugu. That is why you don't know who you are. This is a document I am reading. This, they call it a secret document, and in your entire life, you can never search for this. This is what you call AI. This. I am sorry for you. You cannot write again now, so you can only come and make your noise and for 1 minute and you disappeared. Send and let us see another one you will send. All right, write again now. Look at your fake name. That is people of one Nigeria. They hate to hear truth. Tell me how this document I am reading is AI. You don't even know what is AI. That is why you cannot research. Look at the fake name you used to come on my page. You don't know how to search. That you ask a question to research. Look at it here. You see it here? Look at it clearly. What we are hearing. Mamuk.
International stance. Britain aligned its policy with the general stance of the Organisation of African Unity, OAU, which strongly opposed post-colonial border changes and secessionist movements. Methods used to block recognition. Britain used a combination of direct military support and sophisticated diplomatic and propaganda efforts to undermine Biafra's international standing and help the FMG crush the secession. 1. Military and arms support. The most direct way Britain supported the FMG and undermined Biafra's capacity for statehood was by becoming a major supplier of arms. Continued arms sales. The British Labour government, led by Prime Minister Harold Wilson, maintained and even increased the supply of weapons and ammunition to the FMG, effectively abandoning an initial stance of neutrality. The supplies included millions of rounds of ammunition, rifles, mortars, and armoured personnel carriers. Strategic justification. Officially, Britain claimed it was merely fulfilling long-standing contracts, but the volume of the shipments was sufficient to give the Nigerian Federal Army the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces and retake the oil-rich regions. 2. Diplomatic and UN pressure. Britain actively discouraged other nations from recognizing Biafra and prevented the issue from gaining traction in key international bodies. Lobbying states. British diplomats intensely lobbied the governments of the United States and other Western powers to ensure they did not recognize Biafra, arguing that it would only prolong the war and destabilize West Africa. Blocking at the UN, London successfully worked to keep the conflict categorized as an internal Nigerian matter, thus preventing the United Nations UN from taking any formal action that might have legitimized Biafra's claim to statehood or forced a ceasefire. 3. Propaganda and psychological warfare. To counter the enormous international sympathy Biafra gained due to famine and suffering, Britain helped the FMG control the narrative. Countering genocide claims, Biafran propaganda, facilitated by the Swiss media establishment Mark Press, was highly effective at drawing attention to the humanitarian catastrophe. British officials worked to help the FMG improve the presentation of its policies, denying or downplaying accusations of genocide. International Observer Team. Britain strongly pushed the FMG to accept a team of international observers from the UK, Canada, Sweden, OAU, etc. into FMG-controlled territory. The subsequent reports from these observers, which stated that no government-led campaign of genocide was occurring, were then widely used by the British government to justify its continued arms supply and rebut international public pressure for an arms embargo.
Listen again.
Britain strongly opposed the international recognition of Biafra during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, primarily to protect its significant economic interests, chiefly oil, and to maintain the integrity of the Nigerian state which it had created as a major post-colonial power. Reasons for British opposition. The British government's policy of supporting the federal military government, FMG of Nigeria, and opposing Biafran secession was driven by three core interconnected interests. 1. Oil and economic interests. Protecting Shell BP. The most critical factor was the need to safeguard the vast investments of the Anglo-Dutch oil company Shell BP, now Shell, which had its most vital installations and oil reserves located in the eastern region, Biafra. Royalties. The British government preferred to deal with a single, stable federal government for oil contracts and royalties, rather than a fragmented Nigeria, where oil flow could be disrupted, or contracts renegotiated by a new Biafran state. Declassified documents show that protecting this important stake was the dominant factor in policy formulation.
British is not ready to renegotiate their business that they handed over to Fulani with Biafran people. You see things that triggers. You see things that made that Biafra is not a country. In 1970 till 2000 and till 2024, 18th of November. Because after that, on 29th of November, Biafra was redeclared again with a document again, and it became a sovereign state. This is the pure truth. Because all these things they hide all these things from us. Do you know? I never know that Britain was single-handedly blocked Biafra recognition. That even countries come, even UN ask question. London was the one block it totally. That Biafra will never become a state because that they are not ready to negotiate with Biafran people. Rather, they want to control the nomadic jihadist Fulanese that they handed over the oil business into their hand. It shall never be well with Britain. It shall never be well with all of you who put us in this pain, in this emotional drama that Biafran people are going on, in this trauma. It shall never be well with you. You must experience it back in your life. You must experience, you must witness this you are able to us. Then we'll have a phone call. Yes, so.
Hello, Mazi.
Yeah, good afternoon from here.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're welcome.
My contribution generally to this thing is that we have seen what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how they could take him from Kenya and bring him to Nigeria and hand it over to Nigeria using our own elite to do that. And they keep playing this kabuki theater in Nigerian judicial system that is not even credible, which everybody all know. We see what they did to Mazi Simon Ekpa right now, able to use the Fulani Caliphate, collude with the Finnish authority to jail him. We've seen what they've done to their followers, both the one of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, able to use small money to bribe them, and they all lost their brains. And they have all become saboteurs. We've seen what is happening in the Biafra government in exile after the declaration, how fractions started breaking. I just want to encourage you. You're doing a good job bringing about this history and this document. But what are the solutions? Because the United Nations is a very compromised institution. London is blocking all these things, yes. But the United Nations itself is compromised. The United States is a capitalist economy. They're also feeding from resources that is in the middle belt now. That is why there is Boko Haram. That is why there is ISWAP. That is why there are all those things. We also know that. Because if you say you don't know that, the real purpose of Boko Haram is to destabilize and pursue all those people from their ancestral land so they can have access to the natural resources there. That means we are telling ourselves lies. We also know that because it was published on the 26th of February that USAID was sponsoring Boko Haram and all those terrorist groups, Al-Qaeda, ISIS. So my own is that now we have seen that all these people are compromised. America is America first. They are also interested in our natural resources. What is the solution? Because there have to be a solution. We are tired of this talk. We are tired of it. We are just, what is the solution apart from this? There have to be a strategy. That is what I'm trying. Many Nigerians know about this history, but I don't know why they are just being a coward. Many indigenous people in different parts of Nigeria know about this history that you are telling us again. Mazina Bikano shout about it. Simon Ekpa did the same thing. What is the other solution we have to go about it? I want to all die and just keep shouting on social media. To be sincere, I stopped posting on my social media. I'm not tired, but I'm just thinking of strategy. What are the other strategy?
Yes.
Because they all know. Let me leave us. Let's see any answer anybody will talk on the comment section and the rest.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mazi, for giving me this opportunity.
So yes, let me give you some solution before you go. You know, strategy is not something you kick on the outside. Not every strategy you need to throw outside. Without this secret document, many of us never know that Britain was the one block our recognition totally. That's Biafran people because of the interest of the oil. Many of us don't know about it, except Mazina and the Kano, who come to bring it to us. And now, many of us might forget about it. We are bringing it back. What we needed for get this new country done, solution is, there's many solutions, but there's something they call political pressure. Number one is that we have never been organized after the Biafran war. After the war, we have never been organized. Remember, when the Al Jazeera interviewed the late Bulgaria, he told them that those people are a group of people until when they gather the same together as one body, they can come. Then we will listen to them. Have you come across that news that time?
Yes, I know it.
Now the question is, what does that word mean, and how can you be able to achieve achievable? Is where we are, like what you asked me. The criteria for us to achieve it. Number one is what? This our declaration of University of Biafra was declared on November 24. On November 29, 2024. 2024. Yeah. That was the first step. That declaration is do you know that the meaning of that declaration is what? They said it is a notification to the whole world that a country has taken their stand and become a sovereignty. Then after that, what next? They call it that we have to submit all our documents and choose the area we are going to go. Whether we are going to go into armed struggle or we are going to go into peaceful death recognition. And the world said on the UN charters, they said that that's one that choose in a peaceful way is the one that the world values so much that are going to get international recognition. Now, what is happening? Everything that is playing out right now, it is a strategy by Chukwu Okike Abiyama that Biafra will become a country. Remember, the level of killing in the north has not happened before. True of us, except the massacre of the Igbo people. Now, the only strategies that we have is numerous. One, submitting our official document of declaration that Biafra has become a sovereign state. Number one. Like what you said about the UN. UN is compromised because the Amina Mohammed, who is there, Boyana Isiana. I understand the secret.
Yes.
The Amina Mohammed, the president of the UN is what? Is Boyana Isiala. She was keeping silent. And you know they believe that when that Nobu Nebo Mado Ejeni Bechineke Nyege 7 Beijings. You know that one. So that one is by the side. Now, on the lies that they told the world about us, one, what is this powerful movement? Is now we have to change the history. Like now I am reading, you had it here, what Britain told Sweden and all these countries. That's it. That's it. If they give us a high fact, they allow Biafra, that we are going to generate multiple countries in Africa. And also that they are not ready to negotiate with the new country. That this new country will bring a disaster to them from having the oil that they are giving to the world. Do you remember that is why Mazen Kanu told us that when Biafra is become a fully country, that we are going to give this oil free. Remember? Do you remember that of Mazen Kanu? Why?
Yeah,
What pushed him to say that word is to debunk that lie that British dish out that Biafra will stop them from having the oil, and he said that this oil will be given free to many countries in the world. Now the more strategies are out to us. This is the first time they are targeting Nigeria on a country of CPC, a country of particular concern, for the first time ever. Is it not true? It is also when
this is second time.
Yeah, second time. No, that one is Donald Trump did not just sanction them. He did not put it on a country of particular concern. He did not in that first time. That is why now that Biafra has fully organized. How do we organize? Let me tell you. All these groups that you are seeing cannot stop recognition. I want to know that one. Let me give you an example. Finland, when Finland declared their independence, do you know what happened there? That the white, and they call it white and red Finland, the red oppose the declaration, while the white Finland, who made the declaration and hold the document, when Germany and Soviet Union intervened to give them recognition, what happened? The Germany go to those that made a declaration and they have a document of the declaration. What is this document of the declaration? What is the work of it? The document carries the grievances, a day that will declare, and what has been happening before we make the declaration. Are you following? Now, all this solution has already been there. The only thing that you need to know is that a recognition is not coming under 6 months. Because those that want to recognize you want to watch out, see how you are handling your personal internal affair. Today, the Biafran people, do they have internal affair? Our internal conflict, do we have it? Yes, we have internal conflict. What is it? Biafra Liberation Army of Butozo and Gento refused to work under Biafran government. What does it mean? It is a conflict. The conflict in social media today is a conflict. So they are watching how we are handling all these things. All these things, how we are handling. They said that the way we are handling all these things peacefully, without going into armed struggle, is what is going to help them to know how serious we are. That they are not ready to give those that will not be able to defend their recognition until you prove otherwise that you are ready to defend that recognition once they give it to you. So everything that is happening now is in our own favor, and with all that is happening, recognition is very close. Let me make this word very specific to you. It's only those that make official declaration is the government of the world are going to organize with all our documents. Without declaration officially and without this recognition, you will never be a member of UN. And for us to be one, you must follow in a rule of what? You must follow the rules of the international engagement the way they are doing it. So with all this corruption in Africa and all the lies, why we must continue on social media is to prove those all the lies, to prove that this is lie, this is the truth. The truth is the history of where we're going to use our hand now to tell our history, like changing the narrative of British against us and all these things. So we are already there, my brother. We are there. Okay. Just a little push is what we need, just to have a faith and the continuous on the line of what, on this line of the peaceful movement, not into armed struggle anymore. This peaceful way of Biafra government is going to draw more attention and give us recognition automatically. It will come. It takes a year and 2 months to get recognition. It takes Finland 5 years to get recognition. It takes many countries, many of them, many years before they can be able to get recognition. The only country that get recognition under 1 year, maximum 9 months, is Bangladesh, because of India is at back of them, support them fully. That is why it happens in that way. So, my brother, we are there. We only need to continue pushing, making a exposition of all these lies they have tabled against us. Then the world will understand that we are fully ready, and we already understand who we are. This is where we are right now. This is where we are.
Okay. Another issue I want to bring up is the issue with Omazi Okere
Okay.
and Archibald Boniface Akwarawa.
Yes.
With the guy that is the Australian NATO member that just started posting on his Twitter that ex-Nigeria this and that.
Yes.
You know, it always baffles me when I was just surprised to see Mazi Okiri started doing it. It was an interview with that guy. That guy just came out of the blue. That guy they're just using him. The guy knows his purpose why he came here and just started posting ex-Nigeria. Since we want our own country, it's not you that will come and tell us how to go about dividing Biafra. The guy just popped out of the sky. It's intentional, but unfortunately, this Mazi Okere, they don't use. I don't know what is. I don't know. Maybe mental slavery is wrong with that man, because that's what I'm just surprised. He just quickly went to go and bring him on this platform. Me, I'm just watching them. That's my own. I'm just watching them. How their mumu will be exposed, because it's very difficult to if people are not been following the struggle very well. It's very difficult to know that Mazi Okere, maybe the guys we are not sure about him, because a lot of things have popped out. I don't just want to quickly jump that Mazi Okere is a sabo. I don't want to just quickly jump, but we're watching him, because that guy his own is getting too much, and if he doesn't know, he's embarrassing us. To be sincere with you.
let me tell you something I want you to know. You can't get Biafra without Sabo. Do you know that? Biafra will not come without Sabo. Do you know that this America people rush into America today after they have got their freedom from Britain? Do you know that they have internal cold blood within themselves? Do you know that?
Yeah, there was
those people, are they not Sabo? They are Sabo now. So then the one thing we must know is this: if British can single-handedly use Fulani Jihadist Caliphate to play the game they are playing today, what is the game? The game is divide and rule. Let me tell you, if anybody is doubting whether Oge Nkiri is a Sabo or not Sabo, tell me what is the difference between Oge Nkiri and China Sanwo? Can you differentiate the difference between two of them? Can you? Is it not the same thing? Is it not the same thing? China Sanwo is not shouting Biafra, this and that. But what happened? He was being paid to destroy the movement. Today, I just said it here, Nigeria government find out quickly. They realize their mistake. In time of Simon Ekpa, they only depend on IPOB. They refuse to divide IPOB into two. They want them to be together and fight Simon Ekpa. What happened? They could not be able to do it. Now, they fail on that mission. Now, before Biafra is being declared, when Abatobi is with us, Nigeria has already got Oge Nkiri. And Britain, once Nigeria needed a help, you know how the help comes. They will first run to British, UK or London, tell them what they want and how they will do it. They still play their divide and rule on Oge Nkiri. Oge Nkiri was with Imam Madab, right? When they see that what happened to IPOB is about to happen again, they connected the Imam Madab again. So if you look at, and then when they buy in the people, asking it's in the book, it's in our walls, our body is your.
My ego is not so strong like that too. My ego is not so strong like that.
Okay, so
I can feel this.
Yeah, so the issue is this: Oge Nkiri, in what he's doing, he's maintaining the interest of those who contacted him. On December, I said on one of our brother Maz Humble Science platform that I got information because I served Zoo before I left. So there's nothing you will tell me about Nigeria I didn't know. I served them. I was one of the top commanders in some areas. You understand? So what happened? There was a meeting being held in Enugu State by Peter Mba on 2024. Earlier, maybe he entered office, and somebody said that there was a closed indoor 7-man meeting. They are discussing about who they will use to stop Simon Ekpa, and they said, now that meeting. Now the Mado 7 inside that meeting. Now Mado 3 from abroad. Man, four people from home. What are those 4 people? Peter Mba, Soludo, Hope Uzodimma. And there is one person they called that they said it's one of the Igbo elites they called again. And therefore, then in abroad there is a one woman and a two men who joined this meeting. After the meeting, there is some things that Albert Obie that we finally find out that was happened. When Albert Obie we called Ogenkere for meeting, we told him that he's going to Washington DC, that he's on the road to do what? He never come to those meetings. Albert Obie called for him. Then that one by the side, when you look at Ogenkere changing the name of Mas Simon Ekpa on October, removing his name as the PM, as the Prime Minister, and putting his name when he has problem on November, and the document Ogenkere was changed on October. Why Obato? Sorry, on September. Why Obato are still here with us to November before he got arrested? Then you will know that meeting is being had in Enugu State. That is when I concluded on my own that so this is the guy they use. So this is the person that was in this meeting in abroad, because the security said that when they come, they collected everybody's phone and they locked the doors and the windows to have this meeting together. Because how important it is. So if you look at what happened along the line of Ogenkere changing name of our PM on September, and there is a problem on November, then you will know that meeting being had was when they plan all that we are seeing today. So in summary, Ogenkere is fully working. The way they use China Sanworu and IPOB, some of the IPOB and the rest, and kidnappers and the Kano, the same method they use this woman, they called Madam Azoka Ogenkere to arrest Simon Ekpa. And this same Madam Azoka was the one that destroyed Butozo and the Gentle. This woman I'm talking about, because Butozo is up to before what happened to him, was calling this one our mommy. I hope you had it on one of his audio that was sent out. He's calling Azoka our mommy. Yeah. So the sabotage is there. But one thing that we all must to know: when you believe strong, and because of our declaration, and now we have they said there is 4 criteria for you to become a new nation. What are those criteria? They now tell you under the UN Charter or Geneva or Montevideo Convention of 1933, he told us that you must have a permanent population, number 1. Then number 2, you will have a defined territory. A defined territory simply means the 40 states that made up of Biafra as a country. Are you getting me? Then they said you will have an effective government. What is the work of this effective government? The work is to enter into relation with other countries and sign agreement. If you are not a country, you and another country will not sign agreement to recognize you. You must become an existing country. That is why when I read all these documents and I said, yes, the Biafra government, Labour Ngozi Arabeze, is doing a wonderful 100% right of getting this international recognition. Do you listen to her yesterday? She told us in the next 2 weeks that what will happen, that we will not believe it. So we are there, my brother. There is no need to panic. And everything we are doing, Chukwu Okabiama knows that this exact time, that things that are going to give us Biafra will be here with us. Under the international law, they told you, under self-determination, that when you are experiencing kidnapping, dismissing of your people, killing, inhuman treatment, abuse of rights, that you have option to go and form your own country. Or is it not all this accounted for you right now that made America to put Nigeria on a country of a particular concern? Is it not true? My brother, we are there.
It's one of those things.
What we do now is to fund this government by all possible means. Fund them. What is holding Biafra right now is money, not words. Believe you me. But we must use social media to debunk all the lies, because if you are not here today to debunk this lie that Britain told in 1970 to 1970, continuously bringing it out, there is one thing that this thing that we are doing is very important. I was on my platform yesterday when I was reading one document here. Somebody from America chatted me, said, I want you, and I called, he picked up my number. Then he told me that I should send him this document They are going to use it for something. Now, if you are not in social media to do that, can he said he never knew come across again this document I'm reading. That is also things that they will present to Donald Trump that they will use. The man today told me, even, do you know that he even sent me a record when I was playing this direct? He recorded everything. He said that they are going to use it as an evidence about Nigeria to give you people Biafra recognition. This under my private chat on my WhatsApp, like the way I call it for you. He got the number. We are talking. So everything is happening in our favor. We only need to be here to debunking this lie, to man this political pressure. That is social media. That is why we must do something. That is why. That is why.
Thank you for explaining all these things. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. We will continue until final destination. What is final destination? Recognition. We have declared it. We are only lacking one thing. What are we lacking? If you watch that NATO chairman, that Ogen created, I won't say that man is just that he's an agent. No. God might use someone to start something, but you know that one thing that is happening in this life, that the wrong information always at first time. I hope you know that truth always prevail at last. So what Ogenkere was doing is to destroy the help or what we could have get from that man until that man will hear a very important information. When you are misformed, you get disformed. Is it not true? So now he's misforming that man. But the time will come when we continue on what we are doing, the man will hear the good story. Ogenkere, who could not be able to tell a story of Biafran people, he's bringing a shame to us. Do you know what Asred Okobo said in the Ogenkere? He said that this is a high time that the most illiteracy has emerged to claim that he's leading Biafran people. Asred Okobo said that word. Immediately will come back from Finland and this is happening. Like he said, this one are the most illiteracy have ever seen to talk about. So when you watch this his program with that man, what are you seeing? Is there a man who can lead Biafran people? He's only doing it because of those who paid him money. If he refused to do that, it becomes a problem. Now, what you will know is this, again, like what you said. The only way I look at that NATO chairman somehow is that this lawyer called their lobby, they said they are using Elias. Nobody contacted him. He was the one who contacted Obato Obie because he doesn't have a job. So this man might say something in that way or the other way around. So for me, I put the man on a double standard. What's that double standard? Maybe he can't win in Bachiku Okabiam, or maybe those that want to use him to present Ogenkere with his wrong information, push him out. But the truth is that the truth will prevail. Once the truth is being prevailed, nobody will stop it. Today, it has been all well understood that Maz Simon endorsing goes as a COS, as a DPM. It has it has all over everywhere this time around. Supporting that said, stop this court. Allow this woman. She is the surrogate. She protected the mandate to only one person. After that, what else are you waiting for again? So everything that is happening in our own favor. That is why we must be strong and support United South Biafra. If you are not be giving your fund, give your fund to the government. Money is what is holding us right now because lobby. Again, you have money, you need to go get money to get lobby. You need to use money to go and see congressmen. There is a lot of job that money is doing, and we also now that Biafra is trained a professional army with professionals. You know what it means. So a lot of things are involved. So we must support the government. Please, if you're not be supporting my brother, please support the government. Support it. Give your fund. Give the little you can. So everything will be possible for us to move on. Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother.
All right. We move.
We move. So, my people, we must continue. When someone calls, we'll take our time to talk because we all need to educate ourselves. We all need to know from where we miss it up. Sunday King, nobody's imposing Biafra on you. Nobody. That is your stupidity. Nobody's imposing Biafra on you. Atiku was a Nigerian through one vote. So you have only one vote. Those white man that imposed Nigeria for you, how far now? A white man that imposed Nigeria on you, how far? So let us go back to the document that we are reading about British blocking what? Biafra.
Fuel security. The British economy was also keen to keep Nigerian oil flowing to mitigate domestic oil shortfalls caused by Middle East instability, particularly following the 1967 Six-Day War. 2. Maintaining one Nigeria. Legacy of decolonization. Britain, as the former colonial power, had created Nigeria as a unified state. They saw the country's unity as vital for its post-colonial influence and stability in the region. Precedent for secession. London feared that recognizing Biafra would set a disastrous precedent for other fragile post-colonial African states, leading to further tribal fragmentation and instability across the continent, which was contrary to British foreign policy goals. 3. Diplomatic and political alignments. Commonwealth. Supporting the FMG was seen as maintaining a relationship with a major Commonwealth nation and avoiding a deep diplomatic crisis with Lagos. International stance. Britain aligned its policy with the general stance of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which strongly opposed post-colonial border changes and secessionist movements. Methods used to block recognition. Britain used a combination of direct military support and sophisticated diplomatic and propaganda efforts to undermine Biafra's international standing and help the FMG crush the secession. 1. Military and arms support. The most direct way Britain supported the FMG and undermined Biafra's capacity for statehood was by becoming a major supplier of arms. Continued arms sales. The British Labour government, led by Prime Minister Harold Wilson, maintained and even increased the supply of weapons and ammunition to the FMG, effectively abandoning an initial stance of neutrality. The supplies included millions of rounds of ammunition, rifles, mortars, and armoured personnel carriers. Strategic justification. Officially, Britain claimed it was merely fulfilling long-standing contracts, but the volume of the shipments was sufficient to give the Nigerian Federal Army the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces and retake the oil-rich regions. 2. Diplomatic and UN pressure. Britain actively discouraged other nations from recognizing Biafra and prevented the issue from gaining traction in key international bodies. Lobbying states. British diplomats intensely lobbied the governments of the United States and other Western powers to ensure they did not recognize Biafra, arguing that it would only prolong the war and destabilize West Africa. Blocking at the UN, London successfully worked to keep the conflict categorized as an internal Nigerian matter, thus preventing the United Nations UN from taking any formal action that might have legitimized Biafra's claim to statehood or forced a ceasefire. 3. Propaganda and psychological warfare. To counter the enormous international sympathy Biafra gained due to famine and suffering, Britain helped the FMG control the narrative. Countering genocide claims, Biafran propaganda, facilitated by the Swiss media establishment Mark Press, was highly effective at drawing attention to the humanitarian catastrophe. British officials worked to help the FMG improve the presentation of its policies, denying or downplaying accusations of genocide. International Observer Team. Britain strongly pushed the FMG to accept a team of international observers from the UK, Canada, Sweden, OAU, etc. into FMG-controlled territory. The subsequent reports from these observers, which stated that no government-led campaign of genocide was occurring, were then widely used by the British government to justify its continued arms supply and rebut international public pressure for an arms embargo.
We are going to play it again before we start from where we stopped yesterday. Remember, for those who follow us yesterday, there's where we stopped. So from there, we'll continue. I want to just play it fully for those who just join us right now, so they can be able to pick up when we start the analysis.
Britain strongly opposed the international recognition of Biafra during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, primarily to protect its significant economic interests, chiefly oil, and to maintain the integrity of the Nigerian state which it had created as a major post-colonial power. Reasons for British opposition. The British government's policy of supporting the federal military government, FMG of Nigeria, and opposing Biafran secession was driven by three core interconnected interests. 1. Oil and economic interests. Protecting Shell BP. The most critical factor was the need to safeguard the vast investments of the Anglo-Dutch oil company Shell BP, now Shell, which had its most vital installations and oil reserves located in the eastern region, Biafra. Royalties. The British government preferred to deal with a single, stable federal government for oil contracts and royalties, rather than a fragmented Nigeria, where oil flow could be disrupted, or contracts renegotiated by a new Biafran state. Declassified documents show that protecting this important stake was the dominant factor in policy formulation. Fuel security. The British economy was also keen to keep Nigerian oil flowing to mitigate domestic oil shortfalls caused by Middle East instability, particularly following the 1967 Six-Day War. 2. Maintaining one Nigeria. Legacy of decolonization. Britain, as the former colonial power, had created Nigeria as a unified state. They saw the country's unity as vital for its post-colonial influence and stability in the region. Precedent for secession. London feared that recognizing Biafra would set a disastrous precedent for other fragile post-colonial African states, leading to further tribal fragmentation and instability across the continent, which was contrary to British foreign policy goals.
There is why I pause it, because I want us to look at it the way it is. You have seen why Britain single-handedly oppose or stop or block Biafra recognition in 1960-1970. On a normal, Nigeria did not just win Biafran people in that war. If not for Britain and all the allies that Britain bring to come and help Nigeria. They are in our land. They also be shooting gun in Biafra land. When you watch some videos of this war, you will see them. You will see a white man handling AK-47 to shut down a Biafran man. Because of what? Oil. Because of what? Oil is only thing that made British to cause this genocidal war against us. And because of their company. When they come and find out that it's oil, they went home and first build the company. Did what? They went home, build their company first. As they are coming back, what happened? They need the oil. And the only people that will stop them, today, those who claim they are from Cross River, they are telling you that the only people that could have stopped taking this oil that's in your area, they cannot be able to build road for you. No free education for you. No free hospital for you. Because this country where I am, I have a free hospital is free. Hospital is free here. A very good hospital that owned by government is free. Do you have it in your Cross River that you are claiming that you have oil? What is your own gain with that oil that you ever have? You are having another person is taking your oil, and someone who is even trying to stop them from taking this oil is someone you always come to attack. Have you think of this oil that Britain used because of it and killed over 5 million people? That if that oil is being controlled by you, this country where they have oil, their citizens are not working. They only do whatever they think they want to do and they will relax. The one that government is giving them in a month is okay for them. Many of them don't work. Those that will agree to work, they will pay him ×6 of what they are paying you. And he cannot work past 6 hours or 8 hours, he will go. But you who is a stranger here, you will work less than 10 hours, sometimes 12, sometimes 14 hours. And that is when people say we have oil, I don't want a new nation, my country is doing me well. How could they say such a thing? Why everything they needed is in their hand? Everything they want, they are getting it. If you need car now, from the little start the government is paying them, they will take car and be minusing from their own every month. Can it happen to you who claim you are one Nigeria? Who is telling me that I am not, that I don't have to force you to accept Biafra? Who are you? What am I forcing you? You have only one result, like Atiku. Atiku got away from Cameroon. He voted that he wanted to become a Nigeria. He welcomed. Your own stupidity, not your own stupidity, could not allow you to face reality and know the truth first. It doesn't matter where the truth is coming out from. For you only to know the why that British killed people, and today why people are still dying because of mineral resources, and they find out that the only people that can handle this business for them is the Fulani jihadist caliphate. They are the one that are going to handle it for them. They also the one that they give power to be ruling indirect on behalf of them. If that wasn't enough, they also the one they handed over everything about North. The gold, you who claim you are Sunday king coming from Cross River, you on your own country, on your own that country you are, North has gold. The gold in the North is only for the gold for the North alone. But the oil, the gold in the North is only for the Fulani Caliphate alone. The gold in the North is only for the Fulani Jihadist Caliphate alone, not all the entire North, because people of Benue, people of Plateau, people of Jos, people of Jigawa, and you are claiming. Thank you so much, my brother, for drawing me. That is why I like people that observe. Thank you for drawing me back. Thank you so much. In fact, you too much. However, this is my platform. When you see me going out of what we are doing, draw me back, put a comment. If you have my number, flash me. My mind will come that something is. So, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So one, please remember that Igbos, the Biafran people, are not ready for what? To play loyalty to the British. They said it here. But they know that the Fulani Jihadist Caliphate are the one that are going to play this loyalty to them. That is why they endorse them. That is why they encourage them. That is why they give them. That is why they handed Nigeria over. And telling you that partially they did not hand it over, but they empowered them. So when the other countries that are coming to help Biafran people, you see, they will say no, they never need that to work. Okay, let us give them chance. And what are you seeing today? Tell me one thing good about British in coming into amalgamation that have favored anybody, any indigenous person that are not these invaders. That is why Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is a country of invaders. Those who can shoot, because no indigenous person will have mind to kill his own fellow indigenous person. But because of those that want to conquer, because of those that want to Islamize, because of those who feel that this place is not our own, but we will take it by force. The Fulani jihadists there is one particular Bible verse they believe on it. That kingdom of God sufferless violence, but it's going to take its place through violence. Is it not true? That is why everything about them is violence today. The violence is what you see in the North. The violence is what Biafran people has been experiencing before the amalgamation of 1914. In this document of British, handed over Nigeria to Fulani, and why they blocked Biafra in 1967, is it not clear to you that they knew that Biafra will become a safe haven, that we are going to build paradise in the world, and we are going to live a life? Today, India, as in question, among things that they said, that if they allow Biafra to become a country, which what they told UN members, that if you allow Biafra to become a country, that they are going to create more countries in Africa. You who claim that you are from where you came from, I'm writing jargon here, maybe by now you have your own country with your oil. And you maybe by now you might become a senator or house of rep or local government chairman in your area. You don't think. And that is when you have such a thing, then you know that when they said that the youth are leaders of tomorrow, by now, despite your age, you must be leading one thing in your community. When you see what will favors you and you kick against it. In America, what is the age of those that in the House of Senate that are making laws in America? Go and check very well. Look at Burkina Faso today, that a young man has taken over with a young brain. Look at how everything is going smoothly. And Burkina Faso, as of now, has become one of the best countries ever in Africa. In this present 2025, Burkina Faso is number one of the most beautiful when it comes to security, when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to many things that are going on. You find that Burkina Faso is number one this time around. Is it not true? Because a young man the leaders, when they said that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, when you who claim one Nigeria, that British look at you and give old cargoes your country over. And today, what is happening? More people are coming, more people are trooping in. They will get you. May one Nigeria happen to you. Why am I going to force you? So, let us continue. The British government preferred the deal with a single stable federal government for oil contracts and the royalty. There's something here. Because if Biafra was a country in 1967 to 1970, maybe by now the so-called Clabari might have their own country. Do you understand? By now, another country could have come out from Biafra, because we are democracy. We believe in democracy. We are Republicans in nature. Another country could have come over. That is why British told you that if you allow them, that the negotiation of the oil, we are not going to be with only Fulani jihadist caliphate. That is, by now they could have negotiated this one in Imo State with the Biafran people, another country. They could have negotiated with the Cross River, maybe by now with another country, because Mazin and Kanu told us that let's get this Biafra first. If you want your Cross River country tomorrow, take it. So British still believe on the level of the still colonized us, colonize you, who is a Nigerian. For them to believe in that, for them to make you to look like you don't understand what is playing, you continuously accepting the one Nigeria. Yes, Biafra could have bring another country, because in Africa, really, because when the people of the this is the pure truth I'm telling you, this is a pure analysis of what is happening here, why they block us. So you have it in mind. These people that are from River State, those that are claiming that they are not Igbos, they might peacefully by now have their own country, and the Britain cannot be able to negotiate with them. So Britain is afraid of what will chase them away fully, like the way Burkina Faso chased France away from Burkina Faso. And they only know that only Biafran people can, that only that name Biafra can stop them from having this pipe they have led from Cross River to Morocco today. They know it for sure. That Biafra can stop them from laying pipe from Imo State down to Europe today. Rather, that Biafra will make them, they will negotiate, and we are the one are going to be giving them what they will take and how much they will pay, instead of them taking it the way they want. You will know reason like this, but you come to attack. That's by now, you could have become one big thing in your so-called area, where you come from, River State or any place you are. For those that claim they are not Igbos, they don't want Biafra. You refusing Biafra is what is making you don't have a light. You refusing that you don't want Biafra is why you don't have a good road. You refusing Biafra is why you don't have a good hospital. You refusing Biafra is why you have insecurity. You refusing Biafra is why you're experiencing hardship. You refusing Biafra is why you're experiencing killings of the indigenous people today. And you who continuously today accepting one Nigeria, may one Nigeria happen to you the way it happened to every other person in the north or Biafran people. I wish you that, and I say it with all your faith. Nigeria, where oil flows, could be disputed. That Biafra will put a dispute, we make them that the oil that they will know the way they want, or a contract reconciliation by a new Biafra state. They don't want to have another agreement of corners of oil with Biafran people. And they also know that before they came, that Biafra will stop all this their impunity that we are seeing today. They know it very well that Biafra is what will stop all this that they are doing. That is why they deny Biafra. And some gullibles are paying attention towards that. without you knowing that you are doing yourself, that you are not doing Biafran people. And there is no way you can stop us right now, because after our declaration, what next is our recognition, is what we're waiting for. Biafra, British said that they don't want to go into agreement to negotiate or rearrange their movement again with Biafra. But no, they don't want to do that. They will not accept, and we will not accept really. Because Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu refusing to give people oil is an evidence of what they saw and why they blocked Biafra. Did you see why they blocked Biafra? Because of just oil. And Nigeria, the so-called one Nigeria people are answering today, this is because of the oil. That is why people are answering one Nigeria today. Because of what? Oil. That is why you see people answering one Nigeria. And you who come from south, from Manfe, from where you come, you are not listening. We must continue.
3. Diplomatic and political alignments. Commonwealth. Supporting the FMG was seen as maintaining a relationship with a major Commonwealth nation and avoiding a deep diplomatic crisis with Lagos. International stance. Britain aligned its policy with the general stance of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which strongly opposed post-colonial border changes and secessionist movements. Methods used to block recognition. Britain used a combination of direct military support.
Let us say something here. I forgot this place. Diplomatic and political alliance. Commonwealth supporting the FMG. Britain bring all these people to support Nigeria military. Nigeria, Federal Military Government of Nigeria. Britain was the one who single support them. FMG was seen as maintaining a relationship within a major Commonwealth nation. Britain registered Nigeria into a Commonwealth organization. Britain registered them. For what? For them to keep on their promise. For them to keep on taking the oil. That is the only reason why they did that. Nations, and avoid a deep diplomatic crisis with Lagos. Then there is a very big diplomatic problems in Lagos State. And what happened? They play it down, cover it up, and focus and use not to cover it up. International alliance. British allege it is policy within the general sentence of the Organization of Africa Unite, OAU. Now, how we get agreement? Now, Biafra will never be a country. And that the OAU, African organization, that they were agreement that Biafra will never become a country. That they want to continuously maintain what? Colonial movement. Because Biafra becoming a country will stop Britain from colonizing everybody in Africa. Because we are going to educate everybody. So they will know their rights and chase them away. Or this number 3. Do you hear that British did what? Bribed. Did a diplomatic movement to what? To tell African countries by general or the organization of OAU to do not recognize Biafra as a country. And you look at what he said. He told people that come from foreign countries that the Africa in general agreed that Biafra will not become a country because of they are going to bring more Africans. Instead of telling the world that if you allow these Biafran people, they are going to create more countries and they will stop us from taking the oil and they will chase us away from colonizing Nigeria. This is what happened. The mood used to block recognition. How did the British block this recognition? Britain used a combination of a direct military support and sophisticated diplomatic and the propaganda effort to undermine Biafra international standing and help the FMG, help Nigeria Federal Military Government to crush Biafran people. Are you following? British single-handedly. For Nigeria alone, they will never stop us. But when British colluded with OAU, Africa in general, they colluded with OAU, except 4 countries in Africa that said no. And those 4 are Christian countries. Despite that there are some Christian countries that refuse to recognize Biafra. That is why Ivory Coast give recognition. Tanzania and the 2 other twos recognize Biafra as a sovereign nation. Do you know that British questioned them? Why did they do that? British even tried to sanction them. Despite the ones that said them that they are no longer under British authority. They are on their own. These countries are on their own. Before our 1967 to 1970 war that happened. So British single-handedly blocked this our recognition because of what? Oil. British sponsored Nigeria. You have it in this document that they sponsored Nigeria. How? 1, military and armed support. The most direct way British supported the FMG and undermined Biafra for statehood was by becoming a major supplier of arms. Biafra have a government then. They also have capacity for statehood. But what happened? The British never want us to be a country, so they continuously supporting. Yes, Tanzania is a very minority Muslim. Check your fact. Yes, it's true. You are right. You are right. Tanzania, the Christian has large number more than the Muslim. We are here to say the truth. Even though the truth is going to hurt me, I have to say the truth. Yes, Biafra have the oil that is in Nigeria today is in Biafra land. We are going to have this oil. And is it because of this oil that made Britain to block our recognition? Brother, please, where are you watching from? Dabere, where are you watching from? I want to know, please. Biafra have oil. We have oil. So Nigeria, because of this oil, they don't want to come into agreement with Biafran people that those that have the oil. They support Nigerian military to wipe the Biafran people away. So the oil that you are seeing today is in the eastern region where Biafran people fought this war 1967 to 1970. Imo State is Biafra. And many of them has this oil. And that is why all these areas in 1967, 1970, they all join hands to fight for Biafra. All these areas join hand up to fight for Biafra. And the British on their own, when you read the document, they told you that because of the oil in Biafra land, that is why we oppose the recognition on the international global stage. I don't have time to go into that your argument. Into that your argument because the document of British I am reading said that they blocked Biafra because of oil that is coming also from southeastern region. So I don't know where the south is from which area. When they amalgamated in Nigeria, is there anything like south? When amalgamation of 1914 happened, is there anything like south? Which year do we have what's called south? After they have come to divide and rule you, you claim you are from south. Go and check history of who you are before amalgamation first. What is South? Country. I'm asking you, country first. What is South now? In which year do you have South? And on this phone that you used to chat me, comment on this my platform right now. Why can't you use this your phone? Just type on your phone. Just type. Before the 1914 amalgamation, who are the southern region? Or what kind of life are people are living before the amalgamation of 1914? Can you do that? We are not taking over. This is the thing that used to deceive you, that Britain used to deceive people. You are reasoning like these Britain people. Well, I won't answer you because I don't want to deviate from what I'm doing. Listen to this.
And sophisticated diplomatic and propaganda efforts to undermine Biafra's international standing and help the FMG crush the secession. 1. Military and arms support. The most direct way Britain supported the FMG and undermined Biafra's capacity for statehood was by becoming a major supplier of arms. Continued arms sales. The British Labour government, led by Prime Minister Harold Wilson, maintained and even increased the supply of weapons and ammunition to the FMG, effectively abandoning an initial stance of neutrality. The supplies included millions of rounds of ammunition, rifles, mortars, and armored personnel carriers. Strategic justification. Officially, Britain claimed it was merely fulfilling long-standing contracts, but the volume of the shipments was sufficient to give the Nigerian Federal Army the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces and retake the oil-rich regions. 2.
Listen to this this is a secret document of British. Why they block Biafra? Listen. Oil in a claim, not the Niger Delta or the neighbor the ever. Listen, you know, in what comprises of Biafra. Listen. So don't refer on your shadow. Because I ask you now, before you are Niger Delta, who are you? Can you put a comment section before the amalgamation of 1914 that brought the Niger Delta? What is your name? Who are you before then? If you can tell us, and I will leave you for some time. If you cannot tell us who you are before the amalgamation, I will block you. And may one Nigeria could happen to you. May all this thing that is going on that's happening because of this amalgamation and because of this rubbish of your Niger Delta. And that is why we said, when Biafra come, if you like, you can take the Niger Delta to go and become one country on your own. With this your Niger Delta, do you have a better road? Do you have a good school? I'm asking you. With this your Niger Delta, do you have a 24-hour light? With your Niger Delta, do you have security? With your Niger Delta, do you have good hospital in your area? You are Niger Delta. Before you answer Niger Delta, who are you before 1914? Before Biafran War, who are you first? If you can tell me who you are in 1912, search from tap on your phone, 1912. People they call present now, Niger Delta. Who are we? Just type it on your phone. So you should stop here messing yourself up. Those that fought Biafran people, the British is telling you who you are. Listen to this document I'm reading, so you will know who you are before the amalgamation. Because it's after the amalgamation, the 1967 to 1970, the war click out. Type on your phone, country first, the German country first. Please, can you type on your phone, who am I before the amalgamation of 1914? Let us know if there's anything like Niger Delta. Ijos are there before the time. They fought for Biafra. Who is the Niger Delta? Is the question. Can you just type on your phone? Just let me give you, go to Google right now, type. Before amalgamation of 1914, the present Niger Delta, who are we before then? Just type it on your, so you will see. What is Nigeria? I beg, comment section. Let me leave the guy for you people. Diplomatic and the UN pressure. British actively discourage other nations from recognizing Biafra and prevent the issue from gaining traction in a key of international bodies, attraction to the keys of international bodies. Britain actively discourage other nations from recognizing Biafra and prevent the issue from gaining attractions in the key international bodies. That is what Britain did. Lobby states. British diplomatically lobby the government of the United States and the other West powerful powers to ensure they do not recognize Biafra. Argue that it would only bring more war. Hey, Jesus, Britain. It is only bring more war and destabilize West Africa. It is only bring more war to what? To destabilize West Africa. Blocking at the UN, London successfully worked to keep the conflict characterized an internal Nigeria matter. They say that this matter is Nigeria internal matter. That is not matter that the world will come, because they have lobbied the whole powerful countries, even United States of America. British lobbied them not to interfere. The same way they lobby France not to interfere. When France come full with their greedy eyes to ask about the oil in the hands of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu. When British come, they did not go to, when France come, they did not go to the of Niger Delta to ask about the oil. Rather, they went to Chukwuemeka Odumegwu to ask him, can you give us oil? So if you agree for us to control your oil, then we will support you. And he says, no. Today you are having this your oil. Today, you don't even have this oil in Niger Delta, because the North are the one taking care of it. So we must continue. What happened then? Blocking at the UN, London successfully worked to keep the conflict as an internal Nigeria matter. Though preventing the United Nations, they prevent United Nations, UN, from taking a formal action that might have legitimized Biafra's claim to stakehold or focus on a cast fire. Now, what happened? Those that are supposed to organize us, Britain, London lobbied UN, tell them to not interfere at all. Then, if not for that they are lobbied, within these 3 years, they're supposed to interfere to put ceasefire. Then when they ceasefire, they will ask, what is the problem? So because of the British told them, allow this war to go. Allow it to go. When they fight and get tired, they will surrender. When they fight and get tired, they will do what? That they will surrender. That nobody has to come and intervene. It's an internal affair. It's an internal affair matter of Nigeria. This is how they deceive the world, and the world moved their face from Biafra. And today you are suffering. Are you suffering because of Biafra? Are you under government of Biafra and you are suffering? You don't have light. You don't have roads. You don't have hospital. Nothing. People are dying every blessed day. And you are talking. You are defending death sentence. That means that is one Nigeria. Death sentence. That is the meaning of one Nigeria. Let us continue.
Diplomatic and UN pressure. Britain actively discouraged other nations from recognizing Biafra and prevented the issue from gaining traction in key international bodies. Lobbying states. British diplomats intensely lobbied the governments of the United States and other Western powers to ensure they did not recognize Biafra, arguing that it would only prolong the war and destabilize West Africa. Blocking at the UN, London successfully worked to keep the conflict categorized as an internal Nigerian matter, thus preventing the United Nations UN from taking any formal action that might have legitimized Biafra's claim to statehood or forced a ceasefire. 3. Propaganda and psychological warfare. To counter the enormous international sympathy Biafra gained due to famine and suffering, Britain helped the FMG control the narrative. Countering genocide claims, Biafran propaganda, facilitated by the Swiss media establishment Mark Press, was highly effective at drawing attention to the humanitarian catastrophe. British officials worked to help the FMG improve the presentation of its policies, denying or downplaying accusations of genocide. International Observer Team. Britain strongly pushed the FMG to accept a team of international observers from the UK, Canada, Sweden, OAU, etc. into FMG-controlled territory. The subsequent reports from these observers, which stated that no government-led campaign of genocide was occurring, were then widely used by the British government to justify its continued arms supply and rebut international public pressure for an arms embargo.
Do you hear that? This is what propaganda of British to counter the emotions and international sympathy. Biafra genocide due to the fame and the suffering. The suffering of Britain. The Britain helped Nigeria to suffer the Biafran people. Because of what? Because of what is that? Oil. Because of what? Oil. That is the reason why the Biafran people lost over 5 million people. The only thing that British saw is only this oil. If not for the oil, nobody will answer one Nigeria. I have brought that document to you. You are answering, you are one Nigeria, you are Niger Delta, you are this, you are that, you are claiming because of oil. That is why when the Fulani man sees you, who claim you are Niger Delta, he will address you like that you are Igbo, that you are Biafran. But when you come here, you'll be making mockery of yourself and leave those put you into mess that you are into. British also did what? They lobbied on behalf of Nigeria that there was no genocide. British controls all the social media. They control the social media. And they ask Nigeria, any contacts are from foreign country come, whatever they want, accepted, we will handle it for you. How do they do it? International observers team. Britain strongly pushed the FMG to accept a team of international observers from the UK, Canada, Sweden, OAU, and what? ETC. Many of all this that is happening. The same this British, because of this their evil agenda. That is why today they are keeping Mazen and they can. But it will never, they will never get it right this time around. Because the world eyes has opened. When Canada people come, Sweden come, there's others they come on our own behalf without even invited them. British welcome them, hand them over to Nigeria, lie to them. After lying to them, what happened? They all go back and they act like nothing has happened. That thing is what is hurting all the whole world today. Until Biafra get recognition, until they free Mazen and Kanu, then the peace will be on the world. The blood of the Biafran people that died in 1970 this day are crying. They are causing these problems. Why are they causing the problem? They are only causing this problem for Biafra to be recognized so there will be peace all over the world. When it comes to Africa, without Biafra, Africa is nobody. It's only Biafra. We bring that light that is missing. It's only Biafra. We bring that power that African people are missing today. Mazen and Kanu will be released the way those who fought for the freedom of a country will be released. Nigeria will do nothing. All they are doing is to put pressure on him, whether he can succumb. Why they have promised him heaven and earth and he's not. Now let them use court to put pressure. It's not happening. Do you see Mazen as someone who is fearing at all? This is not someone who is afraid. He's never be afraid of anything. So my people, I want to play it without touching it. So if you want to record, you can record it. How Britain blocked Biafra recognition. After playing this, then remember that our line is open in case you want to call us. You are free to call. After playing this voice, they will know what to do. Listen, you can record this to send it to many groups. Just record the voice. Record this particular document. How British blocked Biafra recognition.
Britain strongly opposed the international recognition of Biafra during the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, primarily to protect its significant economic interests, chiefly oil, and to maintain the integrity of the Nigerian state which it had created as a major post-colonial power. Reasons for British opposition. The British government's policy of supporting the federal military government, FMG of Nigeria, and opposing Biafran secession was driven by three core interconnected interests. 1. Oil and economic interests. Protecting Shell BP. The most critical factor.
Contra hearing it. Why they blocked them? Because of oil interests. Do you hear why the Biafra is not a country? Because of oil. Are you the one who wrote this document? Or am I the one? It's not what Britain put. Because anything, no matter how evil they did, they write it down and keep it for a purpose. They write this also to prove to the Fulani Caliphate that because of them, they killed Biafran people. So if they want to do anything, they will bring it and translate it to them so they will understand it. That they don't have to chase them away.
Was the need to safeguard the vast investments of the Anglo-Dutch oil company Shell BP, now Shell, which had its most vital installations and oil reserves located in the eastern region, Biafra.
Oil blockage on the what? On the eastern region, Biafra. Biafra, the Niger Delta. Are you hearing it here? Those that killed us, they are look at our history. Look at what they did to us, and they are telling you the eastern region, the blockage of oil that they don't want. The oil from what? From that the Biafra we put a blockade on the eastern region, they will not be able to get oil again.
Royalties. The British government preferred to deal with a single, stable federal government for oil contracts and royalties, rather than a fragmented Nigeria, where oil flow could be disrupted, or contracts renegotiated by a new Biafran state. Declassified documents show that protecting this important stake was the dominant factor in policy formulation. Fuel security. The British economy was also keen to keep Nigerian oil flowing to mitigate domestic oil shortfalls caused by Middle East instability, particularly following the 1967 Six-Day War. 2. Maintaining one Nigeria. Legacy of decolonization. Britain, as the former colonial power, had created Nigeria as a unified state. They saw the country's unity as vital for its post-colonial influence and stability in the region. Precedent for secession. London feared that recognizing Biafra would set a disastrous precedent for other fragile post-colonial African states, leading to further tribal fragmentation and instability across the continent, which was contrary to British foreign policy goals. 3. Diplomatic and political alignments. Commonwealth. Supporting the FMG was seen as maintaining a relationship with a major Commonwealth nation and avoiding a deep diplomatic crisis with Lagos. International stance. Britain aligned its policy with the general stance of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which strongly opposed post-colonial border changes and secessionist movements. Methods used to block recognition. Britain used a combination of direct military support and sophisticated diplomatic and propaganda efforts to undermine Biafra's international standing and help the FMG crush the secession. 1. Military and arms support. The most direct way Britain supported the FMG and undermined Biafra's capacity for statehood was by becoming a major supplier of arms. Continued arms sales. The British Labour government, led by Prime Minister Harold Wilson, maintained and even increased the supply of weapons and ammunition to the FMG, effectively abandoning an initial stance of neutrality. The supplies included millions of rounds of ammunition, rifles, mortars, and armored personnel carriers. Strategic justification. Officially, Britain claimed it was merely fulfilling long-standing contracts, but the volume of the shipments was sufficient to give the Nigerian Federal Army the decisive military edge needed to defeat the Biafran forces and retake the oil-rich regions. 2. Diplomatic and UN pressure. Britain actively discouraged other nations from recognizing Biafra and prevented the issue from gaining traction in key international bodies. Lobbying states. British diplomats intensely lobbied the governments of the United States and other Western powers to ensure they did not recognize Biafra, arguing that it would only prolong the war and destabilize West Africa. Blocking at the UN, London successfully worked to keep the conflict categorized as an internal Nigerian matter, thus preventing the United Nations UN from taking any formal action that might have legitimized Biafra's claim to statehood or forced a ceasefire. 3. Propaganda and psychological warfare. To counter the enormous international sympathy Biafra gained due to famine and suffering, Britain helped the FMG control the narrative. Countering genocide claims, Biafran propaganda, facilitated by the Swiss media establishment Mark Press, was highly effective at drawing attention to the humanitarian catastrophe. British officials worked to help the FMG improve the presentation of its policies, denying or downplaying accusations of genocide. International Observer Team. Britain strongly pushed the FMG to accept a team of international observers, from the UK, Canada, Sweden, OAU, etc., into FMG-controlled territory. The subsequent reports from these observers, which
There's one I want to understand here that has repeated
the single most important factor.
These international observers, there is something that you have to get from here. They push all the Nigeria to accept all the international observers to come to observe only on Nigeria side and go back without going to Biafra land. Britain did that. The same thing they did on case of Simon Ekpa. Finland came to observe to know what happened. Nigeria only welcomed them, give them what they want, and Finland they come back. Do you see how I repeated it again? Finland, the same way that British welcome all the media that wanted to publish about the genocide and talk about the right of Biafra to become a sovereign state, the British only pushed them to stay on the side of Nigeria and repaired them. The same that's what happened today. That Finland didn't to match Simon Ekpa, our prime minister. Instead of Finland to go and go all around to find out, they only judge our prime minister Simon because of only witness they get from Nigeria government. This is how it works again. I hope you get it clearly. This is how Britain blocked Biafra recognition. I hope you have had it clearly here. I hope you have it has well understand today that British blocked Biafra recognition because of oil. That they don't want to have a negotiation with the Biafran people. That they will stop them from getting the oil where they're taking it. That is all. So that is why we put the flag of all these countries in the world, like Canada, like Sweden, that came to that time, Britain deceived you and told that if you give them recognition, that they are going to bring more countries in Africa. And they will not allow, they did not tell you that they don't dictate information to you, that why they stopped America, that why they stopped Canada, why they stopped Swedish, why they stopped every other country that comes, all the world powers is because of what? That's Biafra becoming a nation. We stop Britain from having oil that they used to build Britain today. London joined them. UK joined all of them together. They don't want us to become a country because of the oil. That is why we are calling on all of you that Biafra has been redeclared again. Please, don't mind those lies. Our president, Mazina Nekanu, told the whole world that we are going to give this oil free to those that need to use and build their country. Not this greedy, envy, jealous, devilish Britain that you are seeing. So, we are letting the world to know what happened to us. Now, what is this thing that British saw that made the amalgamation of 1914? There is something important that British saw that made them to come to do the amalgamation. Listen to this. We are going to go more deep on this tomorrow, but I'm going to play it right now too, before I end the program.
That led the British to amalgamate the northern and southern protectorates of Nigeria in 1914 was economic necessity, specifically to end the financial deficit of the northern protectorate. The British colonial administration, under Governor-General Sir Frederick Lugard, was driven by a core colonial policy that every territory must be financially self-supporting. The central economic motive. 1. The northern deficit. The vast, arid northern protectorate was significantly poorer and sparsely populated compared to the south. It struggled to generate enough revenue from taxes and trade to cover the costs of its administration, including its railway projects and the system of indirect rule. The Northern administration was running at a substantial annual operating loss, requiring a hefty subsidy or grant in aid from the British Treasury in London, amounting to around £100,000 sterling annually. 2. The Southern Surplus. The Southern Protectorate, with its access to the coast, was financially prosperous. It controlled all the customs revenue from seaborne exports, like palm oil, timber and cocoa, and imports, like manufactured goods and liquor. The South consistently generated a large budget surplus, often over £1 million, which was deemed a waste, while London was simultaneously paying to subsidise the North. 3. The solution: financial unity. The amalgamation was an administrative fiat designed for fiscal convenience. By merging the two territories, the colonial government could subsidise the North, directly use the Southern surplus revenue, primarily customs dues, to cover the Northern deficit, transferring the cost from the British Treasury to Nigerian resources, fund shared infrastructure, rationalise and finance major infrastructure projects, particularly the railway system, which was essential for exploiting the agricultural and mineral wealth of the interior and transporting it to the coastal ports. Other important secondary factors. While financial considerations were paramount, the British also cited reasons related to administrative efficiency and logistical control. Administrative efficiency. The existence of two separate colonial administrations, with separate civil services, legal systems and treasury departments, over contiguous territory was considered administratively unwise and wasteful due to the duplication of services. The amalgamation created a single central government under a Governor-General, Lugard, simplifying the chain of command. Coordinated policy. The British needed to coordinate policies, especially concerning the railway network. Disputes existed over where northern railway lines should terminate, and how customs duties on goods destined for the north should be handled, making a unified system necessary. In essence, the amalgamation of 1914 was a business decision made by the British to create a single, financially self-sufficient colonial entity, ensuring that the British government would no longer bear the cost of ruling its vast West African territory. To learn more about the diverse groups brought together by this colonial policy, watch How Nigeria Was Formed, the historic 1914 amalgamation explained.
I hope you listen to this. By tomorrow, we are going to go deep on this and more. So you will see those who are claiming they are from South and what we are claiming. The interest of British, that they are your problem, not Biafran people. We are not your problem at all. We never take anything away from you. We never. We only stay on our own. Because of what? Economy. That is why you are suffering. Today, do you have the economy? The answer is no. So, people of Biafra, we are going to end it here today. I want to thank those who have been here. I can only play only one record, only one history back without saying a word. So we all may understand why Biafra is solution to what is happening today and why it is very, very important in our midst. That nobody will stop us what we are doing. We that have declared Biafra have denounced Nigeria for us to be alive, because Nigeria is a killing machine. Nigeria means a death sentence to every indigenous people. Nigeria means poverty to indigenous people. Nigeria means what? Lack of good road to indigenous people. Nigeria means everything evil is what Nigeria simply prove to you. If you like, believe. Don't not believe it. But our recognition is going to be one thing that are going to end this impunity that we are seeing. In the first place, denying Biafra is denying the light of Africa. Denying Biafra is denying the light of Africa, because Biafra is the light of Africa. That is why we all must do everything possible to make sure that in this second time, the British with their lies and their propaganda they have handled before. That is why we are playing all these three documents to the world, for the world to know that in the first place that British lied to all of you. All this lie the British told you is not true about us. India is a country. People are living there. Why can't we live?
This is
Listen to this.
bandit camp. You can see the army armored car.
They're collected.
What is this army armored car doing in bandit camp? You can see the man that came down from the armored car. What is this armored tanker doing in bandit camp? And that is the reason why we cannot curtail the nonsense that is going on in northern part of Nigeria. Look at it. And you can see the police van there. Does it mean that the bandits, they also have impersonated the army tanker or the police van? Look at Nigerian police van there. And they are Nigerian police and Nigerian military people giving them something. And that is the reason why we in northern part of Nigeria that causing those havoc cannot curtail the crisis that is going on. It's very bad. And they are even telling the armored car, as the armored car about to go, they are telling him that Kalafia, which means safe journey. What a country. When do we get here? What is really happening in this country?
It's not a country. It's not a country.
People, not be smart, you know. See them. See where for they do reals. Are these people plenty? Eh?
Look at them. They're Fulanis.
Wow.
They're Fulani jihadis.
I don't know where this thing start. I don't know which day go
Look
end.
at them.
But God will help us.
And the open place.
God will help
and
us.
Nigerians don't know about them. And you are telling me you want Nigeria.
My people, not be smart.
I'm sorry for you.
Pastor Ezekiel was sick, crying and shedding tears, pouring his pain on the grave of the people that Fulani herdsmen by telling God of vengeance to come and fight for them. But yeah, my people, may wanna watch the video.
These are not empty cross here.
This is present new one. 52 people. 52.
Father! Are you alive? You are!
And you are here. We are not one Nigeria. We are talking about South. South Bukwegi.
I could have been in danger. The Council of Islamic could have sued me to the federal government to arrest me. She's Islam. Is that satanic, evil, ready to suck blood? After they have sucked the blood of my people and they are saying the cups inside are empty. God of vengeance, where are you? Arise.
Do you hear it? This is what people are going through. And somebody is claiming that he's from South. We are calling the world to know that
we live in a country where we are taking photo up with bandits.
There is a video. If I showed you this video right here, talking now,
2B of our constitution says it's the role of the government to fix insecurity and get our people secured. The government has failed in this in the last 15 years. I can open my phone and read to you tweets of President Tinubu condemning Jonathan for the slaughtering of Christians then. All we are telling President Tinubu to do this morning is to do the thing you condemn Jonathan for. Bring you in to help solve problems. But even
they kill my husband.
Can you imagine how this is a religion that chant Allah Akbar, calling people for worship. And the same religion, they shout Allah Akbar, calling people to come and kill. Okay, but Reverend, are we stop that heat.
See people saying that there is nothing like killing, there's no mass killing. Even Tinubu is PA, they're freaking. What is this? If this is not killing, what is it? These are mass killing. When we talk, they say we are talking too much. And the most painful thing is that this video you're watching is just one. This video is just one. The most painful thing is that never talk about this. Never. You know why? Because it doesn't concern them. Later, they will be saying, fathers of the land. Father, the biggest church in the world is from Nigeria. Richest pastor in the world is from Nigeria. All the billionaire pastors, they are from Nigeria. All they care about is tithes. As we're talking about this killing, they will not talk. Let it get to tithes. Yeah, but you speak about tithes. Oh,
are you? I touch my altar with my mantle on my head. I speak about you will die. You will die. For you to say you will not pay tithe. Do you know what is tithe? Tithe is the interest of the branches of the interest.
That is the only way you see them.
Power. Do you feel power? Because tithe. Now listen to me. I went to France the other day. I landed in France. I saw a woman struggling, and I said, "Madam, do you know why you are struggling?" The woman said, "No." And I said, "Take my mantle." The woman, I laid the mantle on the woman's head. I hear it clearly in my right ear, and I said, "Lord, what is this?" And he says to me, he said, "Because this woman does not pay tithe, that is why her life is tithe." Listen to me. I prophesy to 7 people. If you pay your tithe, increase.
We did now lie. The people that die now. Why
we they die now? We they die. They kill us now. They kill us. How far? They will not talk. As we are talking, and they'll say, "Oh, they are making noise." You know why? It no affects them.
You go reach them.
The land, the same people calling.
Found in.
Can we please stand strong to save our life in Nigeria? There are Christians in Nigeria, massacre Christians. They are tired to be outside performing burial every day. And they expect us to stand.
So apparently, now this pastor voice, right?
It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes.
That is where we are right
now. The
now.
flag of Biafra is raised up, or I am lowered into the grave.
You will never be lowered in grave. You will be alive. We have achieved
it. It is better for this heaven.
We are seeking for recognition.
Not to exist than for
this
Biafra
is only solution.
It's a promise and a pledge we are making.
Biafra recognition from the world is only solution.
We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up, or I am lowered into the grave.
You will not be lowered in the grave. You will be alive. You will not be lowered in any grave.
It is better for this heaven.
Biafra is the only solution. Recognize Biafra right now. Then all this will
Look
stop.
At where Bandit is doing wedding. See how people fool in that place. You understand? You are seeing that place like a market or maybe like a campaign grant. But it is not so. Now Bandit, they do wedding. And look at how his fellow bandits are coming on the bike. And this is happening in Katsina State. You understand, ba? And according to the news, you get one guy where they show face on the camera, and you see him with Babariga, the Agbada. They say that man too, he get part, that is, he get a position in the government. You understand? So that is where the rumor, though they carry it, Nigeria, where are we going to? You understand? And according to the story, again, they say the bandits, when they do the wedding, now the man's cousin. Now the man cousin. So they invited him and he came for occasion. So look at what is happening in the country and see how many thousands of people are in that place jubilating with this man because he married. Then see better gun where they carry, better rifle where they carry in that very place. You go see all kind of ammunition for the man's wedding. Even though na soldier they do wedding, you not go see that kind of gun in that very place. But look at what is happening there, and this is happening in Katsina State. God have mercy on us.
You must help
my
yourself.
Country people.
So this is how they supply these banditries, food and ammunitions. These Boko Harams and banditries, you can imagine. Even after supplying them these things with chopper, Nigerian government cannot even trace where the chopper is coming from and where the chopper landed. You can imagine the kind of weakness we have in our security system. So this is how they supply these.
Hope you are seeing it.
Another one is look at terrorists in their camp. As one of them enter camp to camp, videoing everything at their location and publish it. And this can only happen in African country, no other place.
Yes,
this is Ethiopia. Now, in case if you are planning to travel to any country and it happened to be
it's not only Nigeria, country, but Nigeria is worse. It's Nigeria is worse.
Nigerians, I want to show you guys the wickedness in the Nigerian army, the corruption in the Nigerian army. You don't understand? The wickedness and corruption in the Nigerian army. Now I come here to show now. Right about now, I'm not feeling too well.
No, I can't show this one.
Remember, this video you are watching now is bandits, kidnappers addressing the press. Do you know what they said? They said Nigeria government turned them to terrorists after their last peace talk with the government. Like say government promised them something, government no do it. Why on my dad? What you are reading? UK, America don't flag 20 states for Nigeria, so that there be no go area.
Yes,
20 states.
But if you cannot see UK, London do it because they have an agreement. The agreement that made them power them to kill indigenous people is why they will not talk, because if they talk, they believe that their mind tells them that if we sanction these flying jihadists or we sanction Nigeria, that those that were empowered, we handed Nigeria over, will come after us and we cannot defeat them. That is why British is doing all this. But Biafra declaration on November 20, 2024 is the only solution. Recognition of Biafra under the international level. Canada, come back and recognize us. Sweden, come back. America. All the countries that believe that Biafra genocide is real, you must recognize United States of Biafra right now. None will have any effective governments that are controlling the affairs of Biafran people. Recognizing Biafra is solution to stop insecurity, to stop banditry. Once Biafra is being recognized and give us equipment is in our hand, they will all flee overnight. Everywhere will be calm. We are assuring the world that Biafra will put end in the insecurity that British created in our land from 1960, before the amalgamation, to 1967 to 1970, till this 2025. Biafra, we will stop it. That is why we're asking you, recognize Biafra. Give us recognition. Recognition is what we are seeking for. We have met all the criteria. Once you give us this recognition that we are seeking for, we are going to end all this impunity, and it's not going to happen again. Africa will be a better place. The world will be at rest. Now that all this is happening, the world is not at rest because it's an injustice that are being meted on the indigenous people who happen to be the Christians all over Nigeria. My people, I want to thank you all. From me, from here, it is a wonderful day. Please like, share, subscribe if you can do so. We have told you everything, proving to you that Nigeria is not a country. Proving to you why all this is happening is because of the handover that British did to the Fulani jihadists to be the one that is going to be in charge of Nigeria. That is why people are dying. That is why injustice, abuse of rights. That is why they are holding our President Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the solution to all this problem from day one till today. From the time immemorial, he was shouting from 1999 that Biafra is the solution to all this security. We will protect our border. Every indigenous people will have right under self-defense in Africa to protect their border and keep their border safe. That is why we are calling on all these countries to put their flag here for them to recognize us. Then all this insecurity will come to an end. So we thank you all for being here today. Once again, United States of Biafra recognition is solution to all this impunity that is going on today. From me, from here, have a wonderful day until we see ourselves again tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all.